The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties. What a night for football. Finally, the 2015 FCIAC football season gets underway, and it's all right here live on the HAN Network. Good evening, everyone. With Chris Erway, I'm Rob Adams. Tonight, the Ridgefield Tigers come in to open up the season at Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow, taking on the two-time defending state champions, the New Canaan Rams. And Chris, it's a tall mountain for the Tigers to climb.
It really is. To start out against a powerhouse like New Canaan, especially after a down year, 2-9. I mean, when do we ever talk about the Ridgefield Tigers with a record of 2-9? And now to come in against one of the top offenses in the state of Connecticut, perhaps the entire East Coast, is a very tall order for the Ridgefield Tigers tonight.
Michael Collins on the other side for New Canaan has developed into an absolute stud quarterback coming off a terrific junior season. Look, they were right there. They were a point away from the FCIAC championship last November on Thanksgiving Day, and now, of course, winning the state championship by 1 point against their arch rivals, Darien, which is the second year in a row that they beat the Blue Wave for the title.
And I said it in game day, it seems like New Canaan only loses to Darien. And when they lose to Darien, it's in the FCIAC championship, and then they exact revenge in the state playoffs. Now, with Darien moving up, that's not going to be the case moving forward, but still, New Canaan has something to prove this year, especially on defense. They lose a lot of players on defense, Zach Allen being the most glaring, but on offense, like you said, Michael Collins at quarterback, Lucas Yang, the offensive tackle, 6'7", 300 pounds. You've got Kyle Smith, Matthew Cognetta. I mean, you've got so many different weapons for this New Canaan offense. It's going to be tough for Ridgefield to stop them.
It absolutely will, but the Tigers on the other side with an interim head coach this year, Kevin Callahan, their longtime head coach, taking the year off. So for them, they've got to focus and play football. They seem confident. When we talked to them on the pregame show, they seem ready to go. Yeah, they do, and it's all going to come down to the new quarterback, and that's Drew Fowler. First-year starter. Ryan Dunn graduates last year. In Game Day, Coach Arceri talked about how this kid, Fowler, has played football his entire life. Now, he's never started a game. He had some mop-up duty last year, but has never been in a situation like this. So it's going to be interesting to see how he comes out and if they let him throw the football downfield. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Against New Canaan, you have to throw the ball down the field. You have to pressure their cornerbacks into making mistakes. See how each team recovers from the loss of a big player. Jackson Turek on the Ridgefield side and Cass Knox on the New Canaan side. For Joe Arceri, his first year as head coach, as I said, stepping into the role for Kevin Callahan, who takes a year off. On the other side for Lou Marinelli, it's only year 35. Lou Marinelli, just a class act, has been the coach of New Canaan forever and just an icon in the coaching world here in the state of Connecticut. He doesn't want to hear that, but he is absolutely an icon, and he's surrounded by a whole bunch of great guys as the captains make their way out to midfield, and you can see Jackson Turek and Cass Knox. Jackson Turek was on a scooter when we saw him on the FCIAC tour. Now he's on crutches. Cass Knox wearing the jersey, but otherwise in street clothes. I mean, you look at these captains, they're all big guys, but Lucas Yang, I mean, he just towers over everybody. I mean, 6'7", 300 pounds. That's where Cognetta's going to run behind tonight. He's going to be the road grader, the lead blocker, and I expect some big runs from Cognetta tonight. Down to our right, the Tigers lair going absolutely nuts. They're ready for some football tonight. But you know what? Hours ago, I texted you and said, Football Friday, finally, let's do it. It's here. We're ready. The atmosphere is electric. It's palpable. You can feel it. You can taste it. And I love Tiger Hollow at Lancaster Field. It is an amazing experience. And Ridgefield will get the ball first, but first we'll take a break. As if you haven't had enough build-up for the 2015 FCIAC football season, everybody catch their breath. Deep sigh. We'll all feel better. The ball goes in the air. Next, football. New Canaan, Ridgefield, coming up right after this. Kickoff of 2015, right after this on the HAN Network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark Building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Does buying a car leave you feeling like you're chasing your tail? Head straight to Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram and take car buying in a whole new direction.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique plus talent beats talent alone.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Carl Chevrolet is proud to sponsor HAN Network's coverage of the area's best high school sports. No matter the sport, competition in the FCIAC is spirited, so get out and cheer on your favorite team. If you can't make it to the game, be sure to bring HAN Network with you to keep up with the action. Visit Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
The fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait in the Long Island Sound. This is the time to visit the New England coast, and the Dock Shop can get you outfitted with the latest fishing gear, jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece. Boater, beach bum, fishermen simply love the New England coast. This is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Back at Tiger Hollow's Lancaster Field as Ridgefield begins to make their way out. They're riding on a lot of adrenaline to get things started, Chris, but that can only carry you so far.
Yeah, it really can. We're going to need to see something from this Ridgefield offense. We didn't see it a lot last year, and that was with a senior quarterback in Ryan Dunn. But I'm going to be honest with you, Rob. I've never heard a student section belt out the national anthem. And we had a great rendition.
They bring it here.
We had a great rendition from 4 students, Ridgefield students, in the press box. Beautifully done. And then the student section just overtook everybody. I mean, amazing. I
love running the national anthem, folks, but I'm like you. I love my country, and I never want to disrespect it. So if you can't mic it right, I don't want to air it.
Exactly.
And that's why I do. It's always been my way to do it that way. Peter Swindell to make the approach. A deep breath all over. 2 deep for Ridgefield. They defend the east end zone. Let's do it. We're underway. High end over end at the goal line. He's a half yard deep, and it'll be a touchback.
That'll be a touchback for Ridgefield.
Shane Palmer, a junior, took it a half yard deep.
I saw in warm-ups for Ridgefield, number 5, Patrick Lang. He's a linebacker, but also plays some running back. Be interested to see if he gets a bulk of the carries tonight. 6 feet, 205-pound junior.
So here we go. First snap for this young quarterback. He'll take it from shotgun, as so many do. I was joking with head coach Joe Arceri. I said, who will be under center? But we all know it's largely a shotgun game. First down, throws right side. He does complete. Breaking around a couple of tacklers, getting out to the 25-yard line. That looked like that very same man, C.J. Varian, on the catch.
And a nice, safe throw to start the game for Fowler. Little bubble screen out to the right. Nice completion. And they're going to run a hurry-up offense just like New Canaan, except not nearly as fast.
Junior Andrew Fowler from the far side hash. From right to left they go with a man in motion. He sets up on the near side. They'll try the inside handoff, finding a little room to push and then get pushed back. Not a lot cooking there. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Great job there by number 73. Matthew Hemley, the linebacker.
Patrick Lang on the carry. It'll bring up third and let's call it a long 6 near the Ridgefield 24-yard line. Really big for them to get a first down here. Rolling right, Fowler flips it right, has a man. That's a first down on the far sideline to Chris Longo, the 6'3 junior.
Really love the play call here by Ridgefield. Rolling out Fowler, a nice easy throw into the flat, and a big first down.
You just felt like you needed to get the Tigers comfortable. And if you go 3 and out, that's a tough start.
Absolutely.
They'll stay on the far side hash, moving from right to left. No score, first quarter. 51 seconds gone by, just warming up the seats on a comfortable night here at Tiger Hollow. The inside handoff does go for a yard or two, ducking down underneath. Back to Patrick Lang. By the way, 75 degrees at kickoff. It'll get cooler as the night goes along, but it's lovely. A little hazy, perhaps, but overall, it's a nice night here.
I don't think we could ask for better weather.
No. For September, no. Now an official's timeout. Who are the guys in the striped shirts tonight?
Tonight the ref is Bill Howard, the umpire Frank Fideli, the head linesman is Ron Martinelli, the line judge Don Christopher, and the back judge Bill Trutt.
This, of course, as so many of them are in the FCIAC, a veteran officiating crew.
I feel like every game we broadcast, it's the same, 7 or 8 referees just rotated.
It does feel like it. And Chris Kalen not with us tonight. Cato will be back with us throughout the year doing some sideline. He'll do some color up here as well. But, Cato, he knows all those guys.
He knows them. They're friends.
Yeah, oh yeah. And Cato does quite a bit of officiating himself. Not football, but quite a bit of officiating nonetheless. It is opening night. They got to get the scoreboard on the same page. Second and call it 7. Fowler, deep ball right side. Had a man. He can't adjust. That's Longo down near the New Canaan 40.
And that's just an inexperience from Andrew Fowler. Threw the ball on the outside shoulder of Longo. Longo actually cut inside on that route. A little bit of a double move, a slant and go, otherwise known as a sluggo. Was open, had a couple yards in between him and the nearest defender. Just a poor throw by Fowler.
Thomas Root, the junior defensive back, was there for the coverage. It was man-to-man. You had to like what was there. It just didn't work. Now setting up a big third down play. Call it 3rd and near 7. Rolling the pocket left. Fowler brings it left. Dangerous pass, but it's complete at the 37-yard line. He got it out to C.J. Varian, but rolling to the blind side on 3rd down, Chris, and you and I have talked about it 1,000 times. You needed 7. Go get 8.
Go get 8. Don't get 1. One of my biggest pet peeves in high school football is when you call a 3rd and 8 play, and you have 3 out of your 4 receivers running less than the 8 yards.
Down to 10 to go in the first quarter, no score. And back to punt is Colin Lowe. With 2 deep for the Rams down to our left. Matthew Cognetta, the far side return man. Here's a spiraling kick that will bounce at the 32, then get picked up. No fair catch and brought right down almost immediately. Good coverage defensively as Dante Cobelli was in on the stop. We talked to Dante Cobelli back on FCIAC game day.
You know what I love about New Canaan is that this team is so deep, and yet who do they have back returning punts? I mean, they've got starting running backs, starting wide receivers. I mean, they've got Cognetta back there. They've got Kyle Smith back there. I mean, these guys aren't 2nd or 3rd on the depth chart. They're starters. They play every down.
It is so exciting to finally be off and running with this. We did the 2 soccer games earlier in the week, but finally to have football going here, and I know I've said finally about 1,000,000 times today, to get football going here in the FCIAC and get this relationship we have with the FCIAC, we're really excited here at the HAN Network. First down, Michael Collins. The inside handoff comes around the near side. Trying to break it is Matthew Cognetta. And number 5 will get near the 27-yard line in New Canaan territory. They'll go from left to right. High octane, stay right here on the near side hash. Patrick Mullery of Ridgefield made the stop. A gain of 5 closer to the New Canaan 28-yard line. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Collins throws, finds a man. It's a first down, staying right along the hash marks to the 40-yard line, and the completion to Patrick Maroney.
New Canaan making it look easy. Really nice pitch and catch there from Collins. Looked at his first receiver. He was open. Made a nice, accurate throw.
Still no score. 9:10 to go in the opening stanza. There it is, just for you.
Thank you.
Chris likes it when I say stanza. 1 receiver to the left, 3 out to the right. Shotgun snap. Collins, deep drop, sets up. Down he goes, back at the 30-yard line. Terrific blitz by Ridgefield, and that looked like Richie Donovan, and indeed it was.
What a job by Ridgefield here. Not being scared of that first pass by Michael Collins, not scared to bring pressure, and the offensive line breaks down for the Rams.
Second, and let's call it a long 20, back near the 31-yard line. Shotgun snap for Collins, sets it up, slings it left. Oh, a man wide open. You can't have that happen. That's going to be Kyle Smith. Close to, if not a first down, and I believe it is a first down. Maybe they will go for a measurement, but he got almost all 20 right back. Looks like they're moving the chains, Chris. And second and about a half yard.
I completely agree that you don't want to give up the big play, but 15 yards of cushion. You can't do that if you're Ridgefield.
Indeed, it is a first down. They're still adjusting the chains. Pass left side complete, trying to break out of containment on the far side to the 35-yard line. It's Smith all over again.
And you can see that these plays aren't that difficult. It's a 10, 12-yard hitch route, run straight, turn around. The ball's going to be there from Michael Collins each and every time.
Senior Brian Marr made the stop. Staying on that far hash, closer to the New Canaan side of the field, in those uniforms that I've described at times as pewter or gray, if you will, with those red numbers with the camouflage inside. Collins to throw. Slings it. Man open. Peter Swindell at the 5. Into the pylon. Will they give it to him? Yes. Touchdown, New Canaan.
Huge mismatch there as he was manned up with Charles Bonaparte, defensive back, a senior, just 5'8", 180 pounds, though. Swindell ran right by him on that wheel route. Easy pitch and catch, and a big touchdown on the first drive for New Canaan.
And, oh, by the way, Swindell can score it. He can also kick it. He will be a man putting up a lot of points this year.
And just think about that, Rob. Last year, New Canaan had so many weapons, we didn't really even call Peter Swindell's name as a receiver.
Didn't need to, but he always kicked the ball. Michael Cognetta on the hold. Snap is good. Spot kick. Has the distance. End over end. One of the best in the state. And the extra point is good. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. New Canaan 7. Ridgefield nothing. We come back to Tiger Hollow right after this on the HAN Network.
Does buying a car leave you feeling like you're chasing your tail? Head straight to Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram and take car buying in a whole new direction.
Following a 77-yard, six-play drive, Collins with the touchdown pass to Swindell. He went 4 of 4 for 72 yards, 7-0 as we get things going here. And it looked like Greenwich held on to beat Trinity Catholic, but only by 4 the last I heard, 42-38.
In a shootout.
Yeah. Again, 49 points in a quarter. That's ridiculous.
That high-octane offense of John Marinelli in his first year at Greenwich, proving his worth.
Provy, the near side receiver. Palmer, the far side receiver for Ridgefield. They trail 7-0. Crucial to get a score here early on, this early? Can you say it's crucial?
I don't think it's crucial. It's very needed. It's very, very needed.
Swindell gets into it, end over end, but returnable at the 5. It's Palmer. Palmer far side. Palmer finds an opening. Palmer ankle tackled right near the 34. But reaching out to snag him was Thomas Root.
Thomas Root might have had a touchdown-saving tackle there.
I agree. The wedge was wide open and the hole was there, but nice play, and we see our first laundry of the evening going against the Tigers, and isn't that just the way?
So now we get our second look at Andrew Fowler. You look at Fowler, he's a junior, 5'9", 160 pounds, not a big kid. You look at the defensive line of New Canaan, a lot of tall kids.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you're going to see a lot of is bootlegs, rollouts, getting him out in the open. You give him a run-pass option. You give him the short to intermediate routes. But like I said, at some point, you're going to need to get aggressive and go down the field.
10-yard penalty against the Tigers on first down. The completion comes near side. Trying to break around on the inside was Palmer. But Palmer only gets to the 26-yard line, a gain of about 2.5. Call it second and a long 8. David Strupp made the stop. We had him on FCIAC game day. He's that Young man playing defensive end off the near side wearing number 9. Play fake. Complete over the middle. Like that call and a good completion to Verity near the 35. Varian on the catch.
Really nice slant route there by Varian. Quick off the ball, and a nice throw by Fowler.
I like what Ridgefield's trying to do. They just have to convert. But it's a first down for the Tigers, working from the near side hash. The handoff on the sweep goes to Palmer. Palmer turns it upfield. Palmer finds an opening and a first down near the 48-yard line in Ridgefield territory.
And I think looking at this Ridgefield team, none of us think they're going to have 2 wins this year. I think last year was a bit of an anomaly.
And it's coming back.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Stop me if you've heard this one 1,000 times.
Man, I jinxed it. I give a little bit of credit to Ridgefield, and out comes the yellow flag.
Yep. So they will walk this one off. Looks like a holding call, as you would imagine. And the ball gets put back all the way to the 24-yard line.
And that's just a killer if you're Ridgefield.
Actually, it's a little further back, Chris. My mistake. It's back at the 19.
Yeah, you know what? I think they actually got him for an illegal chop block or illegal crackback block.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's why it's so far back.
Yeah. So their second penalty costs them badly. It's a nightmare. Rolling left, complete, near side. Let's see if they say, nope, he's out of bounds. The diving try on the near sideline by Colin Lowe, the junior. So it'll set up second and the nightmare as I was describing it. It's 2nd and 25 to be exact. Ridgefield cheerleaders on the near side with the Tiger mascot. Lights on, and they are needed as dusk falls here at Tiger Hollow. Shotgun snap. Fowler rolls right. Still rolling. Got to get rid of it, and down he goes. They're going the wrong way, and they're back at the 16.
And there's a little bit of game inexperience from Andrew Fowler, rolling out to the right, has the ability to take off and run or even throw the ball out of bounds. Instead, he panicked a little bit of the happy feet, and goes down, takes a sack.
Matthew Hall made the stop, the 6'5", senior defensive lineman.
It's going to be tough sledding for the 5'9" Fowler.
They make him big in New Canaan. Remember that nightmare I was talking about? It just got a lot worse. 3rd and 30. Back at the Ridgefield 15 on the far hash. Fowler takes it, not going to do anything fancy. Throw it near side and incomplete. Intended for Patrick Lang in the flat. Trying for Palmer, according to the PA, so my mistake. But that's just trying to get a whole bunch of yards back on a little screen.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a promising drive to start, and then a couple of bad penalties backs them up, and now we all know how powerful this New Canaan offense is. You're going to give them great field position almost at midfield.
Colin Lowe to punt it away. 7-0 New Canaan, 5:50 to go in the first quarter.
And 21, Michael Cognetta.
2 Cognettas are deep. Spiraling punt. It's a beauty. It drives a Cognetta to the 42. On that far sideline, it's Matthew Cognetta trying to turn it in. He stays outside the numbers to the 39.
Okay, so I didn't give New Canaan enough credit. They're not going to start at midfield. They're going to start at the Ridgefield 38.
Yeah, that's probably true. Dante Cobelli made the stop. Good crowd on hand, as you can imagine, especially for opening night. New Canaan's side has filled in a little bit, but Chris got me good right before the game. He said to me, the New Canaan stands, boy, they're full. I said, oh, yeah, New Canaan fans always travel well. I turn and look. There are 3 people over there. They have obviously filled in later on. New Canaan does travel well. Collins to throw on first down, rolling right, tucks it away. 40, brings it near side, plenty of room. 35, 30, 25, and out of bounds. A big run for Michael Collins. He got chased out of bounds on the near sideline by Dante Cobelli.
Really good pocket awareness from Collins there. Went through his first 2 progressions, didn't see anything. The pressure was coming, decided to tuck it and run, and then what we don't see from a lot of high school quarterbacks, smart enough to get out of bounds.
Swindell, the receiver, on the near side right. 3 out to the left. Collins with his pick. He throws. It's Swindell, who couldn't climb the ladder. Incomplete. Coverage from Will Carpenter. 2nd and 10.
In your FCIAC tour, did you spend any time with the Ridgefield mascot?
I did not see the Ridgefield mascot. I'm still dealing with the disappointment that only 2 mascots came out and visited with us.
I know who one was.
The Fairfield Ludlow Falcon was one.
Yep.
And, of course, hold it right here on 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap. Collins is going to hand it off on the play fake. Going around the side, unable to get anything going. No traction from Matthew Cognetta. Let's talk about the play first.
Nolan McDonald makes the stop for Ridgefield, and Leo Grisafi's in there as well.
Leo Grisafi in on the stop with Nolan McDonald. Okay, it was the Brian McMahon Senator. Are you happy now?
Yeah, but what I think is funny is that the mascot really isn't a senator. It's Uncle Sam.
Yeah. Work with it.
It'd be pretty poor if it was a senator.
Just work with it. 4 receivers, make it 3 out to the left, 1 to the near side right, setting up Collins, trying to find Swindell, double coverage, and they connect down there in the end zone, incomplete. Good coverage, Patrick Mullery.
So now, New Canaan, most teams here would probably opt to go for it, but when you have a kicker like Peter Swindell, you could absolutely give it a shot here.
Oh, you definitely can. He's among the best, as I said, in the state in kicking. He's been doing it for a couple of years, in fact. And he comes back from running that route.
Just probably needs a breather.
Probably does. 7-0 our score, 4:04 to go in the first quarter. This will be lined up as a 45-yard attempt, with Cognetta to hold. From the near side hash. Snap is high but good. Put down. Kick up on the way. Got the distance. It is mighty good.
I mean, that thing would have been good from 60.
That was sharp and solid. 10-0. New Canaan on top of Ridgefield. We'll see if the Tigers can get it going right after this. Back to Tiger Hollow in a moment on the HAN Network.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
10-0.
Impressive so far from New Canaan. Ridgefield, not so much. They've done some good things. The problem is, if you're going to have penalties, it's going to kill you against an offense like New Canaan. And for the question mark for New Canaan, we said, their defense lost a bunch of guys. Zach Allen was all-team, first state, now playing at Harvard. What were they going to look like? They've come out aggressive. They've put the pressure on Fowler, and they've done well covering the receivers. So really good job by New Canaan so far.
But you're right, you've got to play mistake-free football. The approach and the kickoff by Swindell. Taken at the 24 to the near side. That looked like Cabelli getting thrown down at the 31.
Good job by New Canaan to make an adjustment there. They decided not to kick it to Shane Palmer anymore, and
Can you blame him?
Probably a good idea.
Ridgefield will take over at their own 32-yard line.
So Ridgefield gets the ball at their own 32. On the near side hash from right to left they go. 3:29 to go in the first quarter, 10-0 Rams. Shotgun snap, taken, handoff, trying to push forward, and that's not doing a lot. First time we have talked about number 22, Petros Papadopoulos, listed as a kicker, a junior, 5'6", 145. But again, you got to find people to step up with injured players. 2nd and 10, shotgun snap, Fowler right, complete, looking for a wedge, getting out near the 39. It's Fowler completing to Varian.
And this defensive scheme by New Canaan right now, 4 down linemen, and then they bring their linebackers up to the line of scrimmage, showing blitz quite a bit, and then what you see right at the end is they're backing out into coverage. So a little bit perplexing defense, try to get Fowler to throw the ball quickly.
2 receivers on the near side left. Looking like they're going to blitz. They rush 5. Rolling right, Fowler's just going to throw it away. Any laundry coming out, I don't see anything. But it's 3rd down.
You can see that New Canaan is supremely confident that Fowler can't complete these long throws. Right there, instead of bringing 4, they bring 6. Both their linebackers, which was the same exact stunt they were going to do the last play, except they backed out into coverage. So you can see the game New Canaan is playing right now.
4th and 5, and the punt crew will come right back on. They have not been able to slant the field, Ridgefield, onto the New Canaan side of the turf.
And now, if you're New Canaan, I mean, I know we're still in the first quarter, but now you taste blood. Now you can feel it. You can really start to take control right here with another score.
Kyle Smith and Matthew Cognetta both deep, as getting into it is low. This will spin down, bounce around, roll away, and be downed near the 11-yard line. So a good punt, worst field position for the Rams yet, but they also have a 10-0 lead with 1:38 to go in the first quarter.
And a quick moving first quarter at that. I mean, New Canaan has had the ball the majority of the time of possession here. Ridgefield, a couple 3-and-outs in a row. They're going to have to get something going on offense. And whether that's Patrick Lang or Fowler or Varian, they're going to have to try to find some creative ways to get the football out to their playmakers.
Broadcast tonight brought to you by Walter Stewart's Market, Carl Chevrolet, Pamby Motors, and Coastal Orthopedics. We thank all of them for their support. So from left to right, go the Rams. They have a 10-0 lead. Or should I say Peter Swindell 10, everyone else nothing. Shotgun snap for Collins, turns right, completes in the flat to the near side on a screen that'll come outside the numbers to the 13-yard line. Good coverage as Matthew Cognetta got knocked down.
And one of the big positives for Ridgefield so far on defense is they've bottled up Matthew Cognetta, both in the run game and the pass game.
A.J. Fabry made the stop. You can see right down in that part of the turf some brighter colors on the lines that look a little better than other parts of the line. I'll explain after 2nd and 8, a gain of 2. Shifting things up, Andrew Johns will go to the far side and set up as a slot receiver. Collins throws it, it's low, and it's incomplete. In talking with Ridgefield Athletic Director Carl Charles yesterday as we were setting things up here, we were watching the crew here putting down some new turf. So that is some of the things that have been fixed here. A little tweaking going on, and you can see those bright gold lines right around in between the hash marks near the 20. You can see the bright white stripe of that 20-yard line, but it fades a little bit as it gets closer to the sidelines. 3rd and 8, and a pretty big play here. Collins to throw. Throws a seed that's topped and knocked away.
And that's some great defensive work out there by number 15,
A.J. Fabry on the coverage. Andrew DeFranco, the intended receiver. But what a beautiful throw by Collins.
Oh, really great throw, a dime right there. But really great job by A.J. Fabry, who's also, if you didn't know, the backup quarterback for this Ridgefield team. I mean, he's played quarterback for Ridgefield before. And, you know, kind of the thing to think about is if Fowler struggles, I mean, do you really want, you know, your star defensive back to come out and start playing both sides of the ball?
It's a fair question. I mean, we occasionally see some two-way players. We even saw it in Greenwich in all the years you and I were down that way. We'd see some Greenwich players turn into defensive backs as quarterbacks. But it didn't happen very often. 10-0, 24 seconds to go, first quarter. Ready to punt it away. A yard deep with a flag down. Swindell gets into a spiraling kick that turns into a wobbler, does hit a Ridgefield player, and is downed and now picked up in New Canaan territory, and a flag down at the end of the play, so we might get a little something else tacked onto it. Ball down at the 46.
A little bit of extracurricular activity going down on the Ridgefield sideline. Those players were clapping, so I think it's safe to assume that there's going to be maybe an unsportsmanlike penalty
you would assume.
against New Canaan.
Senior A.J. Fabry standing with his hands on his hips. He has yet to move right off the 44 as he was involved in that play. He is still standing in that position. Really do like the Ridgefield uniforms. I always have. They keep it very classic. Those orange block-style numbers outlined in white, the black jerseys, the black pants. If there's anything they've done a little bit is the helmet might have a little more of a shine to it, but it's opening night as well. But it's a beautiful look.
And we got a false start on New Canaan and then actually a personal foul on Ridgefield. So those penalties are going to offset.
That's why I was wondering the body language of Fabry. Was he involved in that, and was he ultimately perhaps the offending player? That's one area that's screened for us because the players are right in front of us.
And so now one of the things that you rarely see happen is a replay of fourth down and a punt, because those penalties are going to offset and you'd have to replay.
So they'll move the ball back to the original line of scrimmage.
Swindell has to be happy because that punt was not one of his best, so now he gets a chance to make amends.
Provy on the near side. Lombardo further out. And the second punt coming from Swindell. 2 yards deep in his own end zone. Gets a good chest-high snap. Steps forward, does get into it. Boots it well. Coming down, it's grabbed at the 49, and the fair catch called for by Matt Lombardo. Sophomore. Good field position for the Tigers.
Yeah, Lombardo, like you said, the sophomore, 5'7", 140 pounds, actually had a little bit of room there to maneuver if he didn't call that fair catch. I think he thought that New Canaan was a little bit closer than they actually were.
I do have a couple of technical things that I need to remind you all of, just a little bookkeeping and keep track of these things. On occasion, you know, your screen's going to freeze up. You're going to see maybe the little audio get out of sync with the video, things like that. Just reset. Just refresh the screen and you're good to go.
I like it.
We do what we can. This is going to be Fowler doing it himself near side, finds an opening, and a good run. He'll run it out of bounds, play it safe as he gets to the 42-yard line. Played it very safe, didn't take the hit as he came to the near side.
But a new wrinkle from this offense of Ridgefield, instead of handing the ball off in that read option to Lang, Fowler decides to keep it, and a nice gain on first down.
10 seconds to go, first quarter, 10-0, New Canaan. Peter Swindell with a touchdown catch from Michael Collins, and Swindell a 45-yard field goal. Here at the New Canaan 43. Quick pass right side. It's complete, but knocked down immediately. That's going to be a loss of 3 as the pass went out to Palmer.
That's the third or fourth, kind of split-end screen that we've seen, and none of them have really worked. Nice job by the New Canaan defenders getting off their blocks and making a sure tackle.
5 seconds to go, first quarter. I just can't say enough how great it is to be back doing this.
It's amazing.
We do have a flag down that's going to back the Tigers up once again.
It's another holding penalty.
Yeah, the third accepted penalty against the Tigers for 35 yards already. I mean, you think about it, and I was going to try to do it before we went on the air and use this in the opening, but you could do the math. We're talking like December 11th was the last time we called a football game together.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's 9 months.
Yeah. A lot changes, doesn't it?
It really does.
Including in your life.
Yes. Something we can talk more about.
Yes, we can. 10-0 our score. Receivers to each side. New Canaan looked like they were going to blitz. Stepping up, Fowler, dangerous pass in the double coverage. He does get a man. They'll get back across the 45. Fowler able to find Varian, and quarter number 1 in the books. After 1 here at Tiger Hollow, our score, New Canaan 10 and Ridgefield nothing. Chris and I back for the second quarter right after this. 10-0, New Canaan on the HAN Network.
Carl Chevrolet is proud to sponsor HAN Network's coverage of the area's best high school sports. No matter the sport, competition in the FCIAC is spirited, so get out and cheer on your favorite team. If you can't make it to the game, be sure to bring HAN Network with you to keep up with the action. Visit Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Welcome back to Tiger Hollow, Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow with Chris Erway. I'm Rob Adams. 10-0 our score. All right, let's play catch-up. Many months ago, last time you and I worked together. Since then, a new addition.
A new addition. My lovely daughter, Genevieve, joined our family, and just an amazing experience with my wife, Jenna. It is, with Sean, your son,
Yep.
it is the most amazing thing anyone could ask for, and to have her as a part of our family now. It is unbelievable.
Second quarter, 10-0 our score, and so happy for you guys, and she's so beautiful. I'm glad I finally got to meet her. Shotgun snap, Fowler to throw. Oh, he had Varian over the middle, and he missed him at the 45. And again, they will have to punt it away. But yeah, it's so truly life-changing. No matter where life takes you, I will never, ever forget that moment when Sean came into my life, and now he's such a part of this family here at HAN. So it really is remarkable.
And you are right. She is beautiful. That's why she looks exactly like her mom.
I was going to work in a mention of your in-laws and say, looks like Blanche, but I figured they'd appreciate the reference. Here comes the punt from Ridgefield, ready to get it away. Almost blocked. And this will bounce around and be picked up by the Rams' Kyle Smith. And then he'll get put right back down. But let's go back to Thomas Williams, the junior linebacker, who darn near blocked that punt.
Yeah, jumped really high in the air, almost got it. And it's not like New Canaan is sending a punt block. They're actually trying to set up a return, but they're coming in at such a steep angle that they can almost jump and get to the football.
10-0 our score. So New Canaan will now move from right to left. Chris's favorite song being played in the building right now.
Huge game for them.
For the Fighting Irish.
Tomorrow.
I'm sorry you didn't call. Now, I had a great time working with Mike Suppy. He was a great guy and did a terrific job with me. But to call a game that was a Notre Dame football game.
Yeah.
Notre Dame of Fairfield and Weston, and it was all Irish in terms of the music, and the uniforms looked like ND. It was pretty cool. We had fun out there last Saturday.
If I was in the country, I would have been there.
Well, there is that. Weren't you technically in the country?
Technically, yes,
okay.
I was.
A first down at the New Canaan 15-yard line. They'll go from right to left. Shotgun snap over the middle. This is dangerous. Oh, look at this. Running away from the crowd to the right sideline. Kyle Smith, one play, 85, touchdown.
You can't get easier than that. A little slant route. Kyle Smith splits the defenders, turns on the Jets, and you can kind of hear it from the Ridgefield fans, a little bit of a boo there, but what a job by Michael Collins and Kyle Smith. A 7-yard pass turns into a 85-yard touchdown on one play. What a job.
Some drives I don't need a summary of. That took all of about a half minute, if that.
And that's typical New Canaan. It really is, from what we've seen the past, 10 years?
Consistency for sure. Swindell, the extra point. Snap is good. Spot, kick, end over end, plenty of distance. He's just so good.
He almost kicked that into the woods at Tiger Hollow.
I'll tell you what, he almost kicked it to New York. It's not that far away from here. 17-0. New Canaan on top, and New Canaan very much in control right now here at Tiger Hollow, Chris.
Yeah, really good job there by the New Canaan offense. And they haven't really done anything unique or creative or intricate like we've seen them do before. These are 5, 7, 10-yard passes, wheel routes, hitches, slants. They're not doing anything that Ridgefield doesn't know. The problem is Ridgefield on defense doesn't have the athletes to match up with New Canaan right now.
No, not yet, but Ridgefield's got to get something going. Look, you got to get points back. You got to start somewhere.
Absolutely. Whether you can drive down and get a field goal, any points right now will be a huge boost of momentum for Ridgefield. The problem is you're down 3 scores now. You can't have another 3 and out and then allow another score, because then we get into that word comes up, that blowout, and that's what we don't want to hear.
I don't want to utter those words on opening night.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. You know what those are, folks. They involve the number 50. Provy and Palmer are deep for Swindell. And the approach. And the kick. A boot. End over end. 5 yards deep. In fact, Palmer wouldn't even touch it. Next week, we will be at Greenwich High School as the Greenwich Cardinals take on the Darien Blue Wave, and I think of that because we see a ball and go into the end zone. Of course, you can't return a kickoff in CIAC rules and FCIAC rules, you can't do it. Which leads us to Greenwich.
I think we all know both of our feelings on that rule.
Well, I've made it pretty clear over the years, so much so, well, you'll probably hear about it next week. Left side trying it, the Tigers around the edge as Papadopoulos gets across the 20 to the 22. But it's going to be very weird next week for you and I at Greenwich High School because the voice of the Cardinals after all these years, Dick Leonard, has left.
Has just decided to pack it up.
Yeah.
Resign his post.
Yep. He retired and moved to Florida. 17-0 here. 2nd and 7 at the 23. To throw. Fowler, deep ball, dangerous ball, but he's got a man splitting defenders and down into New Canaan territory. At the 27-yard line goes Shane Palmer, the biggest play of the night for the Tigers. Let's see if it gets him a little life.
And now we hear this Ridgefield Tiger crowd finally come to life. They've been quiet the entire first quarter and a bit into the second, and a big play
is coming back.
And it looks like an ineligible lineman downfield. Unbelievable.
Wow.
And it's not even as if Fowler was pressured where he had to run around and scramble. He dropped back. He read the coverage, put a beautiful pass out there. How is there a lineman downfield? Unbelievable. Wow.
Mark it off from the spot of the foul. And away they go. Tough break.
And for Coach Arcieri, you could tell it in game day when we talked to him. I don't doubt that his players are physically ready, but they are not mentally ready right now.
4th penalty, 40 yards, and it has cost them dearly. I'm not saying it would be 17-10, but I'm saying it would be a much closer football game right now. 2nd and 12 following the penalty. Fowler to throw as a man wide open near side. He makes the completion, but then 3 tacklers come over to bring down the receiver, Longo. And Chris Longo makes the catch, and they move the ball to the 24. A little too much air under that ball.
Yeah, and you know what? Exactly what I was saying before is, the 5'9" quarterback against these 6'5" defensive ends. He had no choice but to put a little air under that football. But a really nice job by Thomas Root there. The junior, 6 feet, 190 pounds. Really nice sure tackle. Grabbed the legs of Longo, took him down right to the ground.
10-10 to go. First half, 17-0. New Canaan on top of Ridgefield. They will rush 5. Here it comes. Fowler will step up. He's going to tuck it away. He's got some room, brings it near side, 30 outside the numbers, and hit out of bounds near the 35-yard line. The one thing that kept the flag from being thrown on James Fryer was the fact that he did let up as he went to the sideline.
And you could tell he wanted to lay a big hit right there on Fowler, but his brain got the better of him and said, really don't want to cost my team another 15 yards.
Ball on the near side hash. From left to right go the Tigers with a first down at their own 31-yard line. 17-0, New Canaan on top. Looking to rush again, but they'll work it right across the line for Papadopoulos for a yard.
That's number 22.
2nd and 9. Thomas Williams in on the stop. Linebacker, a senior.
And New Canaan is now blitzing every play. Whether it's a linebacker or defensive back, they're bringing more than 4 people every single play against this Ridgefield offensive line.
They seem to back off here on what will be 2nd, and they'll call it 10. Boy, they gave him no forward progress at all. And now we get a whistle and the first timeout spent by Ridgefield. It comes with 9:16 to go in the first half, and New Canaan holding a 17-0 lead on the Ridgefield Tigers. We'll come back to Tiger Hollow after this on the HAN Network.
The fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait in the Long Island Sound. This is the time to visit the New England coast, and the Dock Shop can get you outfitted with the latest fishing gear, jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece. Boater, beach bum, fishermen simply love the New England coast. This is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Tired of all the bull? Relax and enjoy the experience of buying a car at Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. No bull allowed.
Take a look at it. I think Back with you here at Tiger Hollow with Chris Erway. I'm Rob Adams. 17-0 our score with 9:16 to go in the first half. 2nd and 10 on the near side hash for the Tigers, moving from left to right. And the snap low, and we're just seeing way too many flags.
It's opening night, Rob. I mean, look at what we've seen in college and the NFL. I mean, how many sloppy NFL games did we see in week 1?
Oh, my gosh.
I couldn't watch some of the games. They were so bad.
This is the first against the Rams. Offside will cost them 5. Don't want to spend too much time on it, but an intriguing football game last night. Peyton Manning, a big comeback, and a big meltdown by the Chiefs.
And you know, good for Jamal Charles to take a
stand
stand and owned up. And it really, I mean, really was his fault. I mean,
absolutely.
Let's be honest. But Peyton Manning, it's amazing. First 3 quarters, he can't throw the football. The last quarter, just lights it up. Unbelievable.
3 receivers go out to the left, 1 to the near side right. Fowler, the quick pass is complete. Longo outside the numbers, stretches into New Canaan territory, although they're going to put him down right at midfield, but it'll be a first down for the Ridgefield Tigers.
You can see Varian and Longo, the 2 favorite targets right now for Fowler, getting the majority of the throws sent their way, and they're doing what they can with the passes from Fowler.
By the way, our crew is like alphabet soup. I'll explain why in a moment. But it really is. It's kind of impressive. It's a first down for the Tigers on the near side hash. They'll go from left to right. There's the shotgun snap and the handoff. Look like Papadopoulos to go for 3 near the 47. All right, we've got, let's see, on cameras tonight we have JP, we have JB. You are CJ. There is AJ.
That's a lot.
That's a lot right there, and I can't keep you all straight.
I actually really am enjoying AJ's headwear today.
Oh, AJ always brings the headwear.
Love that.
By the way, Tracy signs her emails TI. So, I mean, it's alphabet soup, I'm telling you. 2nd and 7, shotgun snap for Fowler, looking right, steps up, runs, brings it around the near side, stretches. He'll come up well short of the first down as he's roughed up between 2 Rams. That's Thomas Root along with Matthew Hall.
And that's the first time you heard a little bit of a pop right there. Thomas Root putting the shoulder down right into the gut of Fowler, and you heard that just a little extra pop that you love to hear.
And, of course, I neglected to mention right down below me is MVH.
There it is.
3rd and 3. And on occasion, I guess I'm RA. I don't know.
Nah, keep that.
Not often, though. Shotgun snap, looking. Fowler steps, throws low and intercepted, now incomplete. Dropped at the 37. But a dangerous pass. Right there was Andrew Johns.
And now 4th and 3. I think it's a no-brainer for Ridgefield.
I think you got to.
You're in no man's land. If you punt the football and it's not great, what do you give up? You gain 10, 12 yards. Go for it here. Try to pick up the first down.
Longo indicating to the crowd and saying, come on, let's go. Now the PA's trying to get people into it. That often gets people annoyed, actually. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Colin Lowe, the receiver out to the left. They're pounding the bleachers here at Tiger Hollow. A look back over. They're trying to get the Rams to jump offside. And the flag comes down for delay of game, which I haven't mentioned this, Chris, but that is so unacceptable, and I'll tell you why. Not every place in the FCIAC has one of these, but to each side is a play clock.
And that is a rarity, and it's a treat and a privilege to have that. Absolutely inexcusable by the Ridgefield Tigers, both the players and the coaching staff, to not get the play in. And now 5 yards as Chris Longo runs onto the field. I don't think this really changes anything from 4th and 3 to 4th and 8. You're still on New Canaan side of the football. You really should still go for it.
And
here.
Not many, as we've got it on the screen right now. Staples is one. There aren't many that have play clocks. There it is. It's actually great to have. As a high school announcer, I almost forget to look for it. It's down to 13. Good chest-high snap. Low gets into it. Spins around, bounces away from a Cognetta. Out of bounds over on this side near the 24. I say a Cognetta because at one point there were 3 of them playing. Matthew, Michael, and Frank. Frank has now graduated and moved on.
And right there, a poor punt by Lowe gives New Canaan the football on the 26-yard line. I really would have liked to see the Tigers go for it there, try to pick up the first down.
17-0, New Canaan on top. 2 touchdown passes for Michael Collins. Smith and Swindell with the touchdown catch and runs. Although in the case of Swindell, that was a touchdown catch for sure. But Smith, the gorgeous catch and run, and Swindell, a 45-yard field goal. Collins on first down with the deep drop, setting up the screen. He's got it. Near side and knocked out of bounds near the 36-yard line. So the screen coming to Matthew Cognetta.
First time we've seen the running back screen from the Rams, trying to get Cognetta involved a bit more. And he really is the workhorse for this New Canaan Rams offense.
A New Canaan standard, by the way, we'll explain in a moment. 2nd and 1 after a gain of 9. Ball on the near side hash. Collins takes, steps right. Still rolling. Now he tucks it. He's going to run. Running around the edge, and he'll stretch near the 43-yard line. Good stretch right at the very end for Ridgefield. Helping to make the stop was Nolan McDonald. For New Canaan, they are one of many that do it now, but New Canaan seemed to be the first one that I saw do this. They've got these placards across the way. It's how they call their plays, and it's got all these different icons of one form or another. A little hard to see them from our perspective. Collins struggles with the snap, steps back, almost fumbled, now steps up. Oh, he's got a man wide open, and he overthrows him at the 21-yard line, intended for Ryan O'Connell. I'll tell you what, though, and this is how time moves on. I see number 7. He'll be Ryan O'Connell for the rest of the year, but for a quick moment, that's Alex LaPolice.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Alex LaPolice, the do-it-all player for New Canaan, who has since graduated, but that's exactly what I thought, just burning by the defenders. Was
also wonderful on the baseball diamond as well. Multi-sport star and nice young man who I had a chance to talk to several times. 17-0 New Canaan, second quarter. Collins to throws right into coverage and incomplete. Solid coverage by Will Carpenter as he was draped all over the receiver.
You talked about the placards for New Canaan. I called them
and you see them right now.
Yeah, you can see them right now, and I called them kind of the Oregon of high school football here in the state of Connecticut. Oregon, one of the first college teams to use the placards. New Canaan adopts it, just like kind of the changes in uniform.
3rd and 10, and the shotgun snap for Collins. Collins steps right, flag down. Collins is going to hurl it up, and it is going to be caught at the Ridgefield 10. But, hold on, it's coming back.
Yeah, we had a blatant hold on the offensive line as Ridgefield bought a little bit of a blitz there, and one of the offensive linemen for New Canaan, I think, fell down, took his defender right with him. So a big play negated there for New Canaan.
Those placards, sort of a John Marinelli staple. Of course, he's the head coach now at Greenwich. They got a win today, to my knowledge, as they were able to win a shootout over Trinity Catholic. We'll get you scores and more at halftime. I love coming to Ridgefield. Carl Charles has been great to us. There is one downfall here. You know it. I know it. It's cell service. So to check our scores, to look at Twitter or whatever, it's just tough to do. 3rd and long. Collins throws, sets up the screen. Cognetta far side. Good tackle from behind by Cobelli at the 37-yard line.
You know, one of the questions was, who takes over for John Marinelli?
Right.
And Lou Marinelli decided to promote assistant Dante Correnti, who was a three-time All-FCIAC tailback under Mike Sangster at Darien in the early 90s, went to UNLV. So really, it's kind of that next man in mentality. He was the right-hand man of John Marinelli's. Now he takes over this offense.
And Mike Sangster was a big name at Darien for many years, led Darien to an FCIAC championship over Greenwich in the late 90s before he stepped down. Jeff Brameyer took over for a stretch. And then your old coach stepped in, and boy, have they become a machine since then. Rob Trafone, now the head man there. Big, high punt coming down here. Bobbled, picked up by the Rams, and they will take it down near the 11-yard line. The first turnover of the night as Lombardo couldn't handle the loose bacon, and it will go to the Rams.
And the mistakes are continuing to pile on for Ridgefield, and now we see something that we haven't seen, some shaking helmets, kind of and a little bit of concern for these Ridgefield players as, you know, their energy level has gone down the tubes in this past quarter.
5:40 to go in the first half, 17-0 New Canaan, and they'll get the ball at the Ridgefield 12.
You know, many people say that John Marinelli going to Greenwich was the biggest surprise coaching move since Coach Trefone left Brian McMahon and went to Darien.
Receiver comes out to the near side. That's Brian McCullough. Collins waits. And the shotgun snap will be a handoff left side with some open running room for Matthew Cognetta.
Handoff to number 5 for New Canaan.
They will move him inside the 15 down near the 13-yard line.
What I love about this New Canaan offense is it puts so much pressure on the opposing offense because eventually this New Canaan offense is going to wear defenses down and they're going to give up points. So in order to beat New Canaan, you have to play flawlessly on offense.
2nd and 6. Collins to throw. Steps back over the middle and incomplete. Into double coverage, trying to find O'Connell. It'll bring up 3rd and 6. Not for nothing, just keeping an eye on the sideline. And Gregory Gatto, sophomore quarterback, just keeping his arm loose. Right out in front of us, Chris.
I see it right here. Number 3, the bigger quarterback. 6'3", 175 pounds.
3rd and 6 at the Ridgefield 14-yard line. 4:59 to go first half. Collins trying the out pattern over the shoulder. Swindell, touchdown, New Canaan.
What a pass by Michael Collins. I mean, perfect touch on the football where only his receiver Swindell could catch it. And what a job by Swindell getting a foot down.
3rd touchdown pass for Collins. And it comes with 4:52 to go before intermission.
Talked about seeing Gregory Gatto warm up. I really don't think that Andrew Fowler's done a poor job. I really think it's just been the mistakes and the penalties that has absolutely killed Ridgefield in this game.
That can sometimes be a mental thing, too, just getting in your starting quarterback's brain a little bit.
Yep.
Swindell on for the extra point. Snap is good. Spot kick is coming. It's low, but then it climbs the ladder, and it is plenty good. 4:52 to go before intermission. Ridgefield 24. Or rather, New Canaan 24, Ridgefield nothing. We'll take a break. We'll come back to Tiger Hollow right after this. 24-0 New Canaan on the HAN network.
Do you do a lot of running around but get nowhere when you're buying a car? Visit Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for the one-stop buying experience and stop spinning your wheels.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
24-0, New Canaan on top. I mean, I'm impressed by the Rams. The Tigers have got to wake up.
And disappointing start for the Ridgefield Tigers. Not the way they wanted to start. But now you have to look at it and say, guys, down 4 scores. 3 scores technically. But we have nothing to lose. You know, we're coming off a 2-9 season. We have a ton to prove. Let's just go out and play football and have fun. Let's stop thinking about it, and let's just go and do it.
Well, it kind of goes back to what I said to Dante Cobelli, the question I asked him on the pregame in FCIAC game day. Here's Swindell's approach in the kick. Skied high at the 1, though, bobbled and picked up. Running along the hashes inside the numbers is Provy.
Provy gives it everything he's got.
To get to the 28-yard line. I said to him, you've got 9 games left. You're going to be able to enjoy every moment of it, and you have to now.
You have to, and what a well-spoken football player he was, and you mentioned he could be a broadcaster in a couple years.
I alluded to the public address announcer, and every PA guy has got their own style. I think that's fair to say in all sports. Of course, there was the staid, dulcet tones of Bob Shepard for so many years at Yankee Stadium on first down. Fowler gets hit as he throws. This is a wounded duck, but it's caught and out of bounds. At the Ridgefield 37-yard line, Longo on the near side. First down at the 37-yard line in Ridgefield territory. We were mentioning Dick Leonard. Dick Leonard was very staid, but he was funny. That was the thing about Dick Leonard.
Hilarious.
What a great guy. Evan Dubin will step into his place this year. Handoff goes up the middle for Patrick Lang to the 40. Evan Dubin, who ran the scoreboard for years at Cardinal Stadium, cross-country coach, really good guy, and he will do very well there. We'll be there for his debut next Saturday, which will be fun.
You had to love Dick Leonard's dry humor.
Always did.
It was just amazing, and the timing of his humor was impeccable.
I'll try to give you an example. 2nd and 8, shotgun snap coming, 2 receivers to each side. Fowler steps to his right. He's got to avoid pursuit. He avoids it. Now he's got to get rid of it. He does, finds a man. It's a short gain to Longo, and he gets it near the 43-yard line. Here's an example, and I'll bring you back into the conversation. You would have gotten hit hard by John Sullivan, and Dick would have said, Mr. Erway, meet Mr. Sullivan.
So good. Classic. Even as the guy getting hit, I would have appreciated that.
Or, you know what? I mean, personally, and this is selfishly, I had a personal favorite that was uttered many times. 3rd down, Fowler stepped up, and that play never stood a chance. He's taken down at the 41.
Completely broken play there.
Yep.
Fowler just kind of looked like a deer in the headlights, not really sure where to go with the football.
On a kickoff, it would go a couple of yards into the end zone. It would result in a touchback, of course. The ball can't be brought out. With nobody knowing in the stadium, Dick Leonard would go, and Greenwich will take the ball at their 20 after the Rob Adams rule is enforced.
So,
because of the way I yelled and screamed in the booth for years.
Exactly.
4th down, on the near side, ready to punt it away.
He truly did embrace the Rob Adams rule.
He was fun. Stepping up and getting into it. Spiraling kick, got away from Lowe. Takes a favorable bounce, but it's picked up and then whacked down. Goes Matthew Cognetta at the 26. 3:12 to go first half, 24-0.
Really solid hit by number 25, James Kulik, the sophomore defensive back, 5'11", 155 pounds, laying a nice hit there.
Did you ever hear the PA at Warren Harding?
I'm almost positive.
You heard me talk about him 1,000 times. That guy had the best energy.
Yes.
Because he just sounded like your buddy who just
like you're at home watching the football game.
It's just like he decided to be the PA guy for the day, and he'd just go up in the booth and go, that was my main man, Chris Erway, who made that hit.
It's so good.
And he was good
those
for
are the guys
both
I
teams.
love to hear.
Oh.
It's true. And it's great when it's for both teams and it's not biased.
Yep, very true. 1st down, back inside the 20. Call it, inside the 30 at the 27. Collins takes it, steps, throws. Oh, a beautiful pass. Caught on the run at the 35. Coming near side, Andrew DeFranco. Touchdown, New Canaan.
Unbelievable throw by Michael Collins. I mean, right on the money. DeFranco had the defender beat. And just an unbelievable display of offense by these New Canaan Rams, and I'm not sure we've ever heard Lancaster Field here at Tiger Hollow this quiet.
Double checking with the guys in the booth just because of the announcement I heard, but it was 6 on the catch. DeFranco from 73 yards.
Rob, I'll be honest, we're getting to that point. I know you don't want to say it.
I know I don't. Here's the extra point. It is up, and it is good. 3:01 to go before intermission. The good news is I don't have to talk about it because we'll take a timeout. 3:01 remaining in the first half. New Canaan 31, Ridgefield nothing. Back to Ridgefield in a moment on the HAN Network.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique plus talent beats talent alone.
It's a long way back for the Ridgefield Tigers here at Tiger Hollow. They trail on opening night 31-0 with Chris Erway. I'm Rob Adams. We'll get you scores at halftime. Josh Fisher has been compiling them. He is one of the lucky few that has the internet.
Yeah, I mean, he's got more powerful internet than I think anyone in this building.
But the best news is that in October, now it's out of view because of the lights and darkness, There is a cell tower right over there.
You could probably hit your 3-iron over there.
Yeah, the way I hit it, not so much. But without a doubt, that is coming to our right, camera right. That'll happen in October. Swindell's kickoff is just a beautiful 7 yards deep. It is taken by Provy.
If you're Coach Arcieri, what are you telling your team, Rob? I mean, you're down 31-0. There's still 3 minutes left in the second quarter. You've done nothing on defense to stop New Canaan. The wide receivers are blowing right past your defensive backs. What are you telling them in the huddle?
I think it's still a play at a time and, stick to the game plan. Got to do something here. 3 receivers go out to the far side, make it 2 left, 2 right. 1 in the backfield, shotgun snap. The throw comes near side, and it is snagged and incomplete. Broken up and almost intercepted by Andrew Johns.
Andrew Johns had a really good attempt at that football, just hit the ground. And imagine if that happens. I mean, this crowd is already quiet here at Lancaster Field. An interception right there on the first play back.
2:54 to go in the first half, 31-0. Shotgun snap coming. Fowler takes it, wearing the classic quarterback number 12, hits Longo on the near side, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 18-yard line. To me, that is still the quarterback number, 12.
12.
It will always be that to me because when I was growing up, Bob Greasy, Roger Staubach, John Brody of the 49ers,
yep.
Some guy in Pittsburgh named Bradshaw. Then now we have Tom Brady.
Yep.
There were so many 12s. Kenny Stabler, the Snake. So many 12s when I was a kid. Fowler steps up, breaks out, trying to run to the left side, gets on the left hash, breaks a tackle. A good run and appreciated here by the crowd. Drew Fowler gets out to the Ridgefield 34, a gain of 11.
I always associated number 8.
Did you see the new Troy Aikman commercial, by the way, that he did? That's pretty funny. Shotgun snap for Fowler, rolls right, brings it right, finds Longo, who does bobble and drop it at the 39. He was wide open, double coverage, though. Pretty funny commercial with the great Troy Aikman, who's a terrific analyst. I have no rub with Troy Aikman at all as a broadcaster in the commercials. You got to see it for yourself, but Troy Aikman's into himself.
Would you say you have a lot of rubs with broadcasters?
I'm a critic. 2 receivers out to each side. Good snap. Fowler moves to his left, hands it off, and that play was going nowhere. It'll be a loss of 2.
One of the things we haven't talked about was the lack of a running game from Ridgefield. It's been all, New Canaan offense passing the ball down the field. But one of the things you have to do, especially as an offense with a new starting quarterback, a kid that's never played at the high school level, besides a few minutes of mop-up duties, you have to be able to run the football. You have to be able to take the pressure off and get into 2nd and 3rd and short, and they have not done that tonight.
Patrick Lang never stood a chance. I worked in a number 12 Cowboy quarterback in that conversation. I brought in Roger Starbuck.
A little before my time.
Roger Staubach rolling to the near side. Fowler's going to have to tuck it. Too many jerseys there to throw him down at the 29. And you just can't help, Chris, as you look at what Ridgefield is doing and the way they're struggling to run the ball, whether it's with Lang or Papadopoulos. And then I look to my right, and on the crutches is number 33, Jackson Turek. And, they miss him out there.
And the defensive line of New Canaan is absolutely dominating the offensive line of Ridgefield. Looking at even just one of the Ridgefield offensive linemen, Jenner Hagel, he's a junior. He's 6 feet, 190 pounds. So, that's a pretty small offensive lineman as they've gotten bigger through the years. That's what I weighed when I played offensive line, and we were considered a big offensive line back then.
You guys were a good offensive line.
So now, you've got these guys like Lucas Nyang, who's 6'7", 300 pounds, and it's become the norm to have a guy or two like that on your offensive line these days.
That's the scary thing, how long I've been doing this now. My partner is a player that I covered. I broadcast at least a couple of your games because Greenwich saw McMahon at least once a year.
At least. We always lost to them by 1 point like every year, too. So frustrating.
Here's the punt coming up. Spinning around. And the fair catch will be called for, at least in theory. in the way it looked like, but Kyle Smith did not call a fair catch. So Dante Cobelli put him on the turf.
Now if you're New Canaan, I know Lou Marinelli doesn't like to do this so early, but you have to start thinking about, it's the first game of the year.
Yeah.
Maybe save the starters, get some backup some work. I mean, we're only through a half of football almost. And
31-0.
I don't expect New Canaan to kneel on the ball here. I expect them to throw the ball down the field.
Ball's on the far side hash. They're not going to let up.
And I wouldn't expect it from a Lou Marinelli team right now.
No, second half they might. And look, Lou Marinelli, he's the one who's in the spotlight on this topic most of all because he's one of the largest vocal critics, or proponents, I should say, of the 50-point roll as he rolls left, avoids the referee, and then is able to throw it to the near side, but it falls incomplete.
I think the ref might have fallen asleep there. He could have just didn't get out of the way.
No, he didn't. 2nd and 10 with 1:20 to go before halftime. The Ridgefield band making their way onto the field. And we will carry the halftime ceremonies right here on the HAN network. That is coming up in 1 minute and 20 seconds. Collins takes it on 2nd and 10, steps, throws, right side, finds a man, Swindell, breaks a tackle, but he'll be put out of bounds near midfield.
How impressive has Peter Swindell been? A receiver that has been known as the kicker in New Canaan, and really didn't call his name at all as a receiver last year because they were so loaded, and now he's one of the go-to guys here in this offense.
A gain of 11. Collins waits, takes, 3 receivers near side, sets, fires over the middle. This looks like it'll be intercepted, and it is at the 21-yard line. A.J. Fabry playing with a lot of emotion and able to get the first turnover on the night.
And the first mistake by Michael Collins looked for Matthew Cognetta there, but Fabry with fantastic coverage undercut that route and an easy interception as a little bit of life here for Ridgefield. Now let's see, they've got a couple of timeouts. They've got a minute left. The clock stops on a first down. Can they get a scoring drive here to end the first half?
Each team with 2 timeouts left, 31-0. New Canaan leading Ridgefield, 1:07 to go before intermission. They'll set up with receivers to each side, 2 left, 2 right. Rushing 4 are the Rams. And the deep ball coming near side, adjusting. Longo climbs the ladder. No, he's out of bounds.
Great catch by number 10. Longo, but it'll be...
Really great effort there by Longo as he high-pointed that football, turned back to his quarterback, just could not get that foot down.
I often believe I'd like to see that rule come back on the force out because to me that's a legitimate catch right there.
Yeah, very close. And I think it's a rule that will eventually get revisited, but I don't think it happens nearly enough that it'll get brought up anytime in the near immediate future.
Longo, the receiver on the near side right. Palmer, the slot receiver, on 2nd and 10. Now he'll step up. Fowler throws it, has a man, and the catch made and dropped at the 43-yard line. C.J. Varian, incomplete.
I mean, you really do have to shake your head because there have been a lot of opportunities for Ridgefield. I mean, this could be a really close game.
Yeah.
It could be, and I'm not saying it could be close. Let me rephrase. But it could be a couple-score game rather than a 31-point game.
Well,
it could be a 2-touchdown game right now.
I mean, you put some points on the board, maybe you're looking at a different world. 3rd and 10 coming up as we get closer to halftime. Just a reminder for you, any technical issue, just hit refresh on the browser. I think that's the safest way to explain it to you. And that goes for your cell phone, your tablet, whatever the case may be. Stepping up Fowler, brings it to the near side. A flag down, does throw, finds a man who's popped at the 32. Flag down at the end of that play as well. The hard hit by David Strupp on Shane Palmer.
There are 2 flags on the play.
Let us see about the yellow flags.
Number 21, Michael Cognetta there, laying a huge hit on the receiver.
Penalties will offset.
And the penalties will offset with all that said and done.
3rd down, 3rd and 10 for the Ridgefield Tigers.
It's twice we've had that in this game. Ridgefield cheerleaders lining up to form an opening for their players to make their way back into the locker room, the Tiger Hollow locker room right down below us. In fact, behind us to be exact, but the entrance goes right through the crowd. It's kind of neat. Coming up on a half minute to play in the first half. Now rushing 5 and 6 are the Rams. Blitz coming, setting up the screen near side. It comes to Longo, and a good open field tackle at the 25-yard line. What a job there.
You know, I really do like the play call there. Here's the issue that I see, and you can really see it for the people watching, is the speed in which the play develops is about 3 times as fast for New Canaan as it is for Ridgefield. I mean, that little tunnel screen there took about 7 seconds to develop for Ridgefield. It takes about 2 seconds to develop for New Canaan, and that is a huge difference in this game.
All you need to know about the foot on the throat to make sure you get the lead and blow it open. Timeout, New Canaan.
With 24 seconds left.
They want to set something up, try to go to the locker room up 38. They won't cross 50. You know that for a fact.
Right.
But
well, they could cross 50.
They could.
But they're going to have to give up some points to Ridgefield at that point.
That's exactly right. Nice big pickup football game going down on the second Tiger Hollow field. That one also all lit up, beautiful. Punt coming on a 4th and 5. And they get into it, and it bounces at the 45. Now it's surrounded by Tigers and downed at the 39 with a flag down at the end of the play. Too many flags, Chris.
Yeah, some sloppy play, specifically by Ridgefield, has killed them in a lot of big plays, and that's why they're scoreless here in the first half.
That's right. 31-0 with 12.5 to go before intermission. They do utilize that field for a bunch of things down to our right. It's a beautiful field. Not, of course, this, because it doesn't have all the concessions and the large bleachers, but it's quite good.
I really do like that. I mean, there's got to be a couple hundred kids on that field right now just playing pickup football. I love it. I love to see it.
I've actually gotten smart, by the way, which would be a first for me. I have put a
Don't sell yourself short.
I know. I have put a football in my car for all these trips we are making. Thank you.
Good man, because I always forget to do that.
Thank you.
Really want to put a wiffle ball and a bat in my car. That'd be fun.
Ooh, I like the way you're thinking.
Right?
The other day when we set up for the girls' soccer game at Brian McMahon, I grabbed the football just long enough. Marty Hersam was near the van that we're using right now with the equipment, and I just took it out and said, "See, Marty, I'm always thinking." And, of course, he went, "Throw it to me, Rob." So we had a little catch right there.
But did you complete the first pass?
I believe I did. Wasn't a beautiful throw. It was not, because I was worried about equipment, but.
Makes sense. Well, if anybody, the people that know you have an arm.
Not a cannon, but an arm.
It's like a wet noodle.
After the first couple of throws, it is a wet noodle.
Yeah.
Not a lot left in it.
That's got a lot of wear and tear from your days as the All-State bowler.
I was not an All-State bowler. I was just the captain at Mahopac High School. Ball on the near side hash. New Canaan will go from right to left with 12.5 to go in the first half. Collins in shotgun will send 3 receivers right, 1 left. Shotgun snap, he takes it, looks, throws, and incomplete. 8.6 remaining in the first half.
Kind of split 2 receivers there. 2 receivers in the area, just kind of threw it right in between them.
Swindell was over there on that far side. Hope you're enjoying it tonight on the HAN Network. Our great sponsors, Walter Stewart's Market, Carl Chevrolet, Pamby Motors, and Coastal Orthopedics. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 42-yard line of New Canaan. Collins takes it, drops back, sets up, throws over the middle, has a Cognetta, breaks a tackle, right side, still running, down to 1, and the half will come to an end on the pass to Michael Cognetta, who gets to the 21, the big gain, but were they able to get the timeout? It doesn't look like it. No, the half has come to an end.
And that's halftime. New Canaan 31, Ridgefield Tigers 0.
A truly impressive performance by New Canaan here in the first half. 31-0. The question was going to be about their defense. They showed up. Some big mistakes for Ridgefield. Not able to take advantage of a very few mistakes by New Canaan. And a dominant performance here in the first half of opening night.
to me, that's the bigger problem is the mistakes that Ridgefield made. Of course, New Canaan has shown they are more than up to the task. They're the better team,
right?
But Ridgefield has made too many mistakes.
And we'll see what happens with quarterback Andrew Fowler in the second half. Does the Ridgefield coaching staff keep him in the ball game, or do they go to someone else to try to light a spark?
We'll find out. We're going to take a break. Halftime here at Ridgefield High School with our score. New Canaan 31, Ridgefield nothing. Come on back. We'll have halftime activities for you, including what goes on the field, the band, all of the pageantry here on opening night, scores as well. Chris and I come back to Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow after this with our score. New Canaan 31, Ridgefield nothing on the HAN Network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark Building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Does buying a car leave you feeling like you're chasing your tail? Head straight to Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram and take car buying in a whole new direction.
Darien 42. Back here at Tiger Hollow with Chris Erway. I'm Rob Adams. Halftime, 31-0.
Yeah, and as the Ridgefield cheerleaders perform, a lot to talk about in this football game. One, you have to be impressed with Michael Collins, the quarterback. Really a natural-born leader. Has come out and really dominated this first half besides the one poor pass on the interception to A.J. Fabry. And then on the other side, I know it's opening night, but the amount of mistakes and penalties from Ridgefield absolutely killing them in this ball game, and that's why the score is 31-0. It could be 31-14, it could be 31-17, but the big plays were negated by penalties and then, a couple of big turnovers as well.
Ridgefield cheerleaders entertaining here at halftime. Nice job by them as we continue on here at halftime, and out comes the Ridgefield dance team as well. So nice entertainment here at halftime. But, earlier today, Greenwich went out and they survived really an old-fashioned barn burner with Trinity Catholic. The Crusaders have clearly shown they're up to the task and they can score some points.
They can. Led by Lombardi, their quarterback, really talented kid, and one of the bigger offensive lines in the FCIAC, if not the state. I remember playing Trinity Catholic in high school, and their offensive line averaged like 165, 170 pounds. It's amazing the growth that you've seen in these kids and how big and athletic they are as more and more, lacrosse players and baseball players and wrestlers get into football and play this game. It's amazing.
Trinity Catholic, not really known as a football school for a while. They did have success. They won a state championship 20 years ago under Rich Albanizio before he moved on to Greenwich. They won a Class S title. And since then, they went through a lot of years of not being so good. Then they kind of got it revved up again a few years ago, and now with Donnie Panapata, it seems like they're going the right way.
And Coach Rich Albanizio back on the staff at Trinity, which was the big story. Coach Albanizio, for the lack of a better word, forced out of Greenwich. And then, picking back up with Coach Panapata, John Marinelli leaving New Canaan for the job at Greenwich. So still a Marinelli versus Albanizio rivalry that is, I think, continuing to grow there.
Yeah, and, John Marinelli considers Rich Albanizio almost like an uncle because, he and Lou Marinelli, Rich Albanizio and Lou Marinelli have been so close for so many years. Both of them came out of the New York coaching ranks of the DiMattios and, all the fame that they had in Yonkers and Gorton and among all around the Yonkers, New York area. So that's that chain that comes out of the DiMattios, absolute legends in Westchester County, and that produced the likes of Rich Albanizio and Lou Marinelli.
Really just unbelievable. And I think what is amazing is the longevity and to be able to transcend and change and adapt through time and through how coaching has changed and how football has changed, specifically here in the state of Connecticut. Two legends of the game that I think we're going to see for quite a long time further.
And I'm not entirely convinced that Richie's done coaching, but I think that's a conversation for another time. He might think he's done, but maybe he's loving it as an assistant. I'll be very interested. I haven't talked to him. I'd be very interested to find out.
No, I think he's definitely loving it as an assistant, but he's going to have that itch. And I mean, listen, push comes to shove, he's a head football coach. That's
right.
who he is.
That's right.
And that's what he wants to be. And I think over the course of the next couple years, I think he's going to take his time and decide where he wants to be, maybe for perhaps, his final coaching job.
Scoring in the first half, I'm still a little off on a couple of numbers, but I'll give them to you anyway. Swindell, 35 yards from Collins. That made it 7-0, 8 minutes to go in the first. Swindell from 45 yards out of field goal made it 10-0 with 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Second quarter, a 21-point explosion. Kyle Smith, I have it as 85 yards. I've heard it could be as much as 93. We'll get it straightened out eventually, but long touchdown pass from Collins made it 17-0, just not even a half minute gone by in the second quarter. Swindell, a 14-yard touchdown pass from Collins made it 24-0, just under 5 to go before the break. And then DeFranco right here before intermission from 73 yards out with 3 minutes to go before halftime.
Andrew DeFranco, one of the athletes that we didn't even really talk about as a threat for the wide receivers of New Canaan. And they just keep as much as New Canaan lost on defense and some on offense, like an Alex LaPolice, just like Staples, just like Darien, just like Greenwich, how have they been over the past 10, 15 years? They just continue to rebuild, and they can repopulate a program almost instantly, and that's due to a couple things: success, a fun environment with coaches that run up-tempo, fast-paced offenses and aggressive athletic defenses, and then who you're going to play for. I mean, who wouldn't want to play for Coach Lou Marinelli? I'm sure there's
I keep
not many
thinking
people.
there's a wisecrack, but I don't have one.
There just isn't. That's the thing. You look for something, and there just isn't.
No, really isn't. And look, we're not going to spend too much time on it, but the reality is we will be at the Marinelli Bowl coming up in October, and what a day that is going to be, the buzz that has created. Greenwich players, I talked to them on our FCIAC tour. They're already sick of it. New Canaan players seem a little... They're not as sick of it as the Greenwich players are, but you can understand why the Greenwich kids are just, they don't want to hear about it.
I wonder if they're sick of it because Coach John Marinelli's sick of it.
Could very well be. Lou seems to be, more easygoing about the topic.
Right. Well, I think John, wants to separate himself. He doesn't want to be known as, Lou Marinelli's son and assistant coach and offensive coordinator. He wants to be known as the coach of the Greenwich Cardinals, the coach who's going to lead them back to the promised land, which they haven't seen in quite a while, which for the Greenwich Cardinals is a failure.
I mean, that's an eternity
for
Greenwich to not be in the mix this many years. In fact, their broadcast team for their last state playoff game, hi, that's us.
That's us. I mean, can you believe it?
Yeah.
I mean, and that was
at Palmer Field. In Middletown. They lost to Xavier.
Yep.
Really not only an ugly football game, I mean, it was almost like Austin Longy was doing it by himself that day, but really bizarre in the crowd, some stuff going on in the crowd. It was just an ugly night of football.
It was a ugly, sloppy night of football, and it really did feel like Austin Longy was doing it himself. Now he's doing it at Fordham, and from what I've heard, doing really well. He's doing very well, and Tyler Matakevich, the former St. Joe's cadet, also playing exceptionally well at Temple. I watched that that game where Temple beat Penn State, and Tyler Matakevich, I mean, what a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in on every tackle. So it's great to see these local players getting love in the college game and being able to blow it up.
Yeah, no, he played absolutely well. As the marching band has made their way out into the field as well. Halftime here, 31-0 our score. And this has turned into just a beautiful night.
It really is, and it's cooled down really, really nicely. I'm actually glad I wore jeans because I think I'd be a little chilly, but you've got the Nantucket Reds on.
I'm comfortable. I'm very comfortable here tonight, I must admit. First night of high school football in the FCIAC for us in our relationship with the FCIAC, and such a proud thing for us. You were at the press conference not all that long ago. Then we hit all the schools, and it's a special night and a special time for all of us, and the end of a long, very special day.
I think it's just been an amazing experience to be a part of, and the work that you have put in to build this from the ground up, from nothing, from dirt, in the span of 2 years to where we are now. becoming the premier partner of the FCIAC and being able to do this, and live, on air, and have people be able to watch it and see it. That can't make it to the stadium is unbelievable. So, credit to you and to the entire staff. I mean, you guys have really pulled it off.
Takes a lot of people to pull off what we're pulling off, but enough about that. It's certainly an honor to be a part of it and to be involved with John Kutzo and Mike King and all the good people involved in the FCIAC. Dave Schultz as well, and it's a real thrill. So, with that said, 31-0. We will take a break. As we go to break, listening to the sounds of the Ridgefield Tiger Marching Band, and Ridgefield trailing New Canaan 31-0 on opening night. Chris and I come back in a little bit for the second half. Ridgefield trailing New Canaan 31-0 on the HAN Network.
Have no fear. Hersam Acorn's Fast Frights movie contest is here. Can your film make the cut? Submit your original 3-minute horror movie today. Visit fastfrights.com for more details.
Means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Tired of all the bull? Relax and enjoy the experience of buying a car at Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. No bull allowed.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2 and more are in stock and ready to go at the Dock Shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The Dock Shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Back at Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow, teams making their way back out into the field with Chris Erway. I'm Rob Adams. 31-0 our halftime score.
Really solid performance by New Canaan. About what we expected, I think, specifically from the offense. The defense, I'm a little bit more surprised on how stout they've been. But like we said, Andrew Fowler and the Ridgefield Tigers have to get something going offensively. You've got nothing to lose. You've got to throw the ball down the field. Trick plays, reverses, everything is on the table right now. You have to break it out and just have fun and enjoy the night because, for these seniors, it's their last opening night.
Right.
Like Dante said in game day, He wants to go out and be able to enjoy everything, and that's exactly what they're going to try to do here tonight.
So the Tigers come out of the end zone to our left with the Rams across the way. And the second half getting ready to get underway.
Can see both teams are hitting the sideline. A few more warm-ups, and we're going to get this second half underway. The officials are out on the Tiger Paw.
The Tiger Paw that I stood on probably 9 hours ago.
And just took it all in?
No, at the very end of coffee break, I went out there for a stand-up to end the broadcast.
You're so creative.
I can't take credit for it, but thanks.
I try.
It was warm out there, I'll tell you that much. It was a beautiful day.
It was hot for a while.
But we basically moved here and lived here, and that will probably be the way we go for a lot of these games. We will set up shop and be at your building for a long day. Coffee break and everything else to get you all set with the tailgate, FCIAC tailgate, and then FCIAC game day, and then the broadcast. But next week, it will be a Saturday edition of FCIAC tailgate and pregame.
Ridgefield getting ready to kick off here to New Canaan. It is very important for Ridgefield to come up with a stop here against New Canaan.
And we wondered, could Stanford hang with the Darien Blue Wave? Answer, no. 47-14 Blue Wave.
Game over.
I don't know that that's game over, but it's...
Because I know they had a little bit earlier kickoff, but not
they
that
did,
much earlier.
So that probably is game over. You're probably right. Normally we would have all this, but again, and I don't want to harp on it, I just want folks to understand why Chris and I don't have access to the internet, so we're kind of shouting to Josh Fisher, and he's giving us some information as Cognetta runs it back to the 27, and stop me if you've heard this before, a flag down.
Really another nice tackle there by James Kulik, again, the defensive back. Almost a touchdown-saving tackle there as Cognetta had gotten to the edge, but really nice tackle there by Kulik.
But the flag down, and it'll be against New Canaan. It is holding on a kickoff.
Yeah, interesting. I think we've seen it all.
Pretty much. That is only penalty number 3 against the Rams. On the shotgun set, first down. They'll run it up the middle near the 15-yard line. As it was Matthew Cognetta. Donovan helped make the stop.
Michael Collins still in at quarterback. I expect them to play through probably about the third quarter, and then if the score is any worse for wear, we'll probably see the backup start to come in for Lou Marinelli's
31-0 our score. Half minute gone by, second half. Cognetta again, and you get the sense what's happening here. It's a 31-0 game. You're going to run it up the middle.
And, I can't remember the last time I saw 2 runs in a row for New Canaan.
Nope.
In all the games that we've broadcasted for them. So maybe Coach Marinelli, while keeping the starters in, is maybe starting to slowly take his foot off the gas.
Now, Collins' numbers are not off the charts. He's 12 of 21. Shotgun snap. Collins takes. Steps, throws, incomplete.
And while the stats aren't there, and I completely understand that, I think what the great thing about Michael Collins is like I said, a natural-born leader, the intangibles. And that's something that, if you look on the other side, a first-year starting quarterback, Andrew Fowler, doesn't have. He's got a solid arm. He's quick. He's had some scrambles that were nice, but he doesn't have that intangible, that leadership factor that he knows, what's happening around him. He's kind of more of a one side of the field quarterback. He looks at one side of the field, can't scan everything, and then kind of makes a decision. Where Collins can look at the whole field and then, boom, make a split decision.
Pass was intended for Swindell, who stands right on the goal line. Carpenter broke it up. Here's a high snap, but plenty of time. And then he drops it. Then he picks it up, runs it near side. On the numbers, 20, 25. He's going to get a first down and a lot more as he runs it to the far side and out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
Rob, I know I said we saw it all before. Now we have really seen it all.
Just about.
A fumbled snap, and then no one can catch him. can catch Swindell, and now a first down for New Canaan just like that. I mean, if that doesn't take the air out of your lungs, if you haven't already had the air taken out of your lungs by Ridgefield, that's going to do it right there.
That'll do it. By the way, we got to get to an important fact. Collins to throw. Looks left, still looks, slings it left. Oh, almost intercepted, but Kyle Smith along the near side into Ridgefield territory at the 44-yard line.
Everything going New Canaan's way. I mean, that's a ball that if the defender for Ridgefield looks up a second quicker, that's an interception and probably a touchdown.
17 yards and a first down. 3 receivers out to the right, 1 out to the left. Collins to throw, slings it left again, Smith again. Stays right there and is down across the 35 at the 34. It is a long-standing tradition of Chris and I, whether on HAN Network or anywhere else, to discuss things of a food nature. Gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Shotgun snap. Here is Collins. Throws over the middle, incomplete. Intended for DeFranco down near the 6. So my long-winded point will be the chili dog passed the mustard. It was quite good.
I think for the half that you had before you dropped the second half.
Oh, we weren't supposed to reveal that. It was good, even though it had beans, and I'm not a bean person.
It's okay. AJ and I split what was supposed to be a chicken sandwich, and I think it was turkey. So
I had dinner right near your house the other night, by the way. Handoff goes inside, bouncing around. Cognetta is going to get put down back near the 37-yard line. Good job to rustle him up by Nolan McDonald. I won't give the name of the place, but I will just say I had a steak and cheese not too far from you with chili on it. Might have involved a cactus. Does that give enough information for you?
It gives me enough, and it's probably one of my favorite places.
Oh, it's really good. Thanks to Eric Gendron. Play action. Collins over the middle, wide open. He's got a man to the 10 who's down at the 9, and then a flag down at the end of the play. Andrew Johns on the catch. And a gain of 18, but is it coming back? We'll find out.
And right there is a perfect example of Michael Collins where the stats might not be there, but that was his third option. That was his third receiver. That he was able to look off his first 2 and then get it to Johns.
The illegal block in the back is going to bring it back. 9:28 to go, third quarter, 31-0. New Canaan on top of Ridgefield.
Penalty against New Canaan.
So with the block in the back a little bit further down the field, it's still going to be a first down for New Canaan, just back a little bit farther.
Penalty number 4 against the Rams.
That'll be a first down for New Canaan.
Collins takes it. He'll do it himself. Off the play fake, comes near side, outside the numbers. He's spun around and put down near the 18-yard line. Takes a pat on the back from the tackler. As Charlie Bonaparte brought him down, the senior defensive back.
And that's one of the things that we don't normally see from Michael Collins, that kind of read option or kind of shotgun handoff. He's usually giving that football to Cognetta. At that time, he decided to keep it for himself.
On the near side hash, Collins to throw. Slings it right. He's got a man. If he can time it, got it. Touchdown. Just too easy.
With a pass for the touchdown for New Canaan. Number 5, Matthew Cognetta.
They're saying it's Cognetta. I couldn't tell. That's one way. Cognetta's back here, and I think that's actually DeFranco again.
That is DeFranco with the touchdown. And if I don't know if people watching could see that, but that was the same exact play, a mirror image of the touchdown to Swindell earlier. So that kind of corner route where the 2 receivers go inside, the 3rd receiver runs that little corner route. Another easy touchdown. Great throw by Collins.
Here is Swindell for the point after. It is up, and it is true. 8:56 to go, third quarter. And now, with a flag down, we'll stay here for an extra moment.
It's got to be 12 flags now, isn't it? That's got to be up there.
I have it at 10 accepted, and that's just my own very basic writing down of these numbers, and it's against New Canaan.
At least that was in double digits.
Close enough.
Looks like a penalty against New Canaan is going to set them back. They're going to have to retry the extra point.
Just means because you're off, you can buy dinner.
I was going to buy dinner anyway.
I'm only kidding. Off the penalty, so the extra point will be tried again. No, it's declined, and the point is good. And okay.
Interesting. I wonder if they can accept it on the kickoff. and that might be something that the Ridgefield coaching staff decides to do.
So the extra point good with all that said. 8:56 to go in the third quarter. And New Canaan on top of Ridgefield 38-0, assuming they put the point up on the board. And now they do. Timeout. Back here in a moment on the HAN Network.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Back here at Tiger Hollow, and A.J. Szymanowski confirming what you and I both knew, that it was indeed DeFranco on the catch from 17 yards out.
So now 2 touchdowns for DeFranco in a game that has now turned into, well, I'm not going to say it, but everyone knows what it is.
Well, yeah, it is, and now you deal with it. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores away from 50.
Right.
So we can start there.
Problem is,
I hate talking about it,
There's
though.
basically a whole half left. That's,
right.
That's the issue.
Right. You got 8:56 remaining in the third quarter. I just hate the topic, and you know. Penalty assessed on the kickoff. I'm getting all, verklempt. Here's the kickoff. It'll be taken, bounced, and out of bounds at the 17-yard line. Brendan Provey.
And if you're Joe Arcieri for Ridgefield, I think you have to look at your kick returners, specifically Brendan Provey, and say, is this something you want to do? Because that's 3 bobbles now for him.
Well, and you have to ask, is it the lights? Is it the crowd? Is it, is the ball getting moist? As the air kind of gets cooler? What is it? You need some answers.
And his response will be no excuses. Get it done.
Correct. First down. Pass coming near side. It's complete. Varian in the flat. Breaks outside the numbers to the 32, out of bounds. A gain of 13 and a first down.
And that brings up a Ridgefield first down.
I like what Ridgefield is doing here, putting Varian and Longo on the same side of the football.
First down at the 33. We'll try the ground for a gain of maybe 2 to the 35. That's Papadopoulos on the carry.
Good penetration by the defensive line of New Canaan. This offensive line unable to sustain any true type of blocking tonight.
Fowler to throw. Steps to his right. Brings it right. Diving catch. And they will rule it a catch. Longo at the 42. Nice play. He almost deserves a first down for that, and I don't think he got it.
This kid Longo is going to be a player next year. I mean, he's just a junior right now. He's got 1 more year. He's got the length, 6'3", almost 200 pounds. And he seems to be an emotional leader. I mean, he's the one kind of pumping up the crowd, trying to get them involved. I really like the athleticism.
Yeah. 3rd and a yard when we resume. Plenty of action next week here on the HAN Network. They'll stack them right up on the line of scrimmage. Going jumbo on 3rd and a yard. And now flags down and an illegal shift against the Tigers.
And you know what? They're actually going to get 12 men.
Is that what it is?
An illegal substitution penalty. They lined up in wing T formation, which we haven't seen all night. I'm not sure I understand why do that. Something you haven't done all game. Even if it's 3rd and 1, you can line up in shotgun and run the football. You can get under center. Why line up in a completely odd formation and obviously a bit of confusion for the offense as they lined up with 12 men?
6 accepted penalties against the Tigers. Play clock down to 8. Now they're just looking at their wristbands. Play clock to 3. And a whistle and a timeout, Ridgefield.
Just utter confusion for Ridgefield, and I'm not sure whether the coaches were confused, the players. Seemed like a little bit of both.
Next week on the HAN Network, we'll get the week started on Tuesday at New Canaan's Dunning Field. Darien and New Canaan in field hockey. That will be a first for us here on the HAN Network, and I will say it as openly and clearly as I can. We need analysts to join me in the booth for things like soccer and field hockey. I got football covered. We could use some other analysts, though, to keep me company. So give me a shout, radio at hersamacorn.com. If you're interested in the other side of the camera, Eric Gendron would like to hear from you as well. That is video at HersamAcorn.com. We would love to talk to you. And really, you know me, I love bringing young broadcasters along, present company included. I love developing and talking to and explaining this business to people.
You do. You're a mentor to many.
38-0. New Canaan on top. I had no impact on you. Looking to throw is Fowler. Oh, what another grab by Longo. Give him the catch and give him close to a first down at the 43.
I mean,
I'm enjoying watching him play.
Very true. And Fowler just kind of threw that up and just said, hey, you know what? Go get it. I'm not sure he meant to throw it when he did and where he did, but Chris Longo has come up big for the Tigers tonight.
Later in the week, on Thursday, we will have soccer again, Wilton and Ludlow. My soccer's coming along. It's developing.
You got to take some lessons from some of the Spanish soccer broadcasters.
I will not be Andres Cantor. I will not be Ian Dark. Those guys are the best, and they do what they do.
Love me some Ian Dark.
I'm still focusing. JP Della Camera is terrific. Yep. I'm still just focusing on trying to be the best in the same paragraph as Mr. Scully.
There you go.
Not same sentence. Nobody's in the same sentence.
No. Same paragraph,
Same paragraph I'd be happy with.
Realistic.
I will say this as clearly as I can, and I can say it to you because I know you get it. After the measurement, it's 4th and inches. I went from pure exhilaration when Vin said he's coming back next year to purely deflated when he said it's probably his last year.
I know.
And I keep thinking his beloved wife, Sandy, will kind of get in his ear and go another year.
Go another year. Just keep going at this point.
I just think,
right? Why tease us, Vin?
And I get it. He's going to be 88. He'll be 89 in November of 2016. I get it.
I don't think he's lost a step.
But he hasn't lost it. 7:54 to go here, third quarter. They'll jumbo up on 4th and short, trying to get the Rams to jump. The little pitch and the pooch and a first down as Papadopoulos is able to get the extra push across the 45.
Pitch and a pooch, huh?
A little pitch and pooch.
I like that. Should
you.
Trademark that. TM it.
Every now and then I'll utter these, what I guess might be Rob-isms, and I'll hear from Marty Hersam, who just loves them. Stepping up is Fowler. Fowler does throw it, finds Longo as he was sprawling down, and gets into New Canaan territory at the 45.
Gotta love the heart Andrew Fowler is showing. Down 38, almost 40 points, and still, getting the football out on time, getting it to his receivers, not taking a sack right there.
And developing a little bit of a rhythm now with Longo. It's fun to watch. 2nd and 2 after a gain of 8. Shotgun snap. It's a handoff Papadopoulos left side with a flag down. And stop me if you've heard that before. To the 45.
That's a Robism. Stop me if you've heard that before.
Just too many flags and a false start against Ridgefield. Too many.
You're going to run out of room on that sheet.
Let him play.
Let him play. Pick up the flag. Forget it. Just let him play.
38-0. Let him play.
Well, we know where you stand on that.
No, at this point I don't. But there does come a point where you see a flag or something going on with 2 seconds in a 50-point game. And guys,
let's just let it go.
Let's go home.
Right. Let's pack it up.
Yeah. After the flag, they'll move the ball back to the midfield stripe. Nose of the ball angling toward the Ridgefield side. 2nd, and let's call it a long 8. Fowler takes, uses a little pump fake, now throws and almost intercepted.
Ball falls incomplete.
That was Michael Cognetta.
And I think what the coaches for Ridgefield have tried to do at halftime was to make things a little bit simpler for Fowler. You can see he's not making multiple reads. He's looking at a receiver, locking in, and trying to time his throws when the route is going to break. So, for example, on an out route, he's throwing it before the receiver is even out of his break. So I like the simplification process for Ridgefield.
3rd and 7. Stepping up, Fowler can run, is running. He's going to get a first down as he angles toward the sideline near the 43-yard line.
The PA announcer certainly hasn't lost any energy.
No. Got to love your job.
Yep.
As do we. First down at the New Canaan 42-yard line, 38-0, 6:55 to go, third quarter, clock running. Looking to blitz are the Rams. Papadopoulos finds some running room and pushes forward with 2 flags coming in across the 35 to the 34. And just watch Fowler's body language. That's all you need to know. Now Fowler points and says it's against them. And I believe it is.
Yeah, it's going to be a face mask against New Canaan. So tack on an extra 15 yards onto a nice run by Papadopoulos.
And they'll walk it off.
So 15 yards.
So Rob, tell me if you haven't heard this. Ridgefield's inside the New Canaan 20.
Haven't heard it a lot because it's normally been nullified by a penalty. A first down for the Tigers on the far side hash. Across the 20 indeed it is. At the 19, Fowler steps up, rifles it over the middle. Got a man, touchdown! How about Colin Lowe over the middle and a wonderful throw by Fowler. Ridgefield's on the board.
And Fowler, great job avoiding pressure, stepping up in the pocket, and putting just enough air onto the football for Colin Lowe. And a great job by Lowe to tiptoe and get a foot down in the back of the end zone. Ridgefield on the board here in the third quarter.
Now we get the extra point try coming up. They need a T. Papadopoulos goes and grabs that.
Number 22, Papadopoulos, will attempt the PAT for Ridgefield.
So Ridgefield on the board, and they're trying to cut it to 31. Snap is good, spot, kick, end over end, plenty of distance, and good. 6:27 to go in the third quarter. Ridgefield is on the scoreboard. Our score, New Canaan 38, Ridgefield 7. Back to Tiger Hollow after this on the HAN Network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Back in Tiger Hollow, 6:27 to go, third quarter, 38-7. Ridgefield now on the scoreboard. Look, let's not fool ourselves. You know they've started working in some second stringers on the New Canaan side, but still, a nice contained drive, even making up for mistakes and taking advantage of New Canaan mistakes. That was a nice drive by the Tigers.
It really was, and you have to feel happy for them getting on the scoreboard here. The game isn't close by any means, but a really good feeling. You have to feel good for Fowler and for Colin Lowe on that drive.
Kickoff coming. Here it is. A line drive that will go over Cognetta's head and into the end zone.
A nice kick that rolls into the end zone.
This facility, named after Stephen Lancaster, was a big star here at Ridgefield High School, a multi-sport star in track, baseball, and football. In fact, there are pictures of him really doing wonderful things against Yorktown, against then the Yorktown Cornhuskers, where we were last Friday night and where they do not have good internet service. I enjoyed my experience and our visit to Yorktown High and being in New York and having a roughly 12-minute drive home, but it was not the best for getting online.
It's rare for you to have a 12-minute drive home.
So heavenly. Really was. 38-7, shotgun snap. Into the flat. Cognetta around the right side, breaks out of one tackle. He'll get 9, close to 10 as he gang tackled right near the 11-yard line. Yeah, it really was a joy to have that short of a trip home. And tonight's not too bad either from here in Ridgefield. When you leave Lancaster Field and the Ridgefield High School campus, you make the right on North Salem Road, Route 116, and you're in North Salem, New York in a half minute.
The human GPS returns.
You're welcome.
I would assume it was going to happen at some point in this game.
And off right side, this is Matthew Cognetta. And he'll rumble forward for almost 10 as he gets near the 40. On that FCIAC RV tour, it would be kind of funny because others would try to give directions to Marty, who was driving the RV. And I'm just sitting there, and I would say very quietly, do this, do this, do this. And A.J. Szymanowski would look at me and go, I know, you knew it all along.
Yep.
Second and short to the ground. Rumbling over people. It'll be a first down from one Cognetta to another. This time, it's Michael Cognetta for a first down.
Nice to see Michael Cognetta getting a few carries here. Really, kind of specific to the defensive backfield now for New Canaan, but nice to see him getting some reps on offense as well.
38-7, New Canaan on top, 5:09 to go, clock running third quarter. A man will go in motion. Again, from one Cognetta to another, and a seam pass right up the middle. Jack Holzer to the end zone, 52, and a touchdown.
Rob, tell me if you've seen this before, but another mirror play. That little fake handoff up the middle at a shotgun, and then just an easy seam route. I mean, right over the linebackers, in front of the defensive backs, and then Jack Holzer turns on the Jets. Another easy score. We've seen that corner pass twice for a touchdown. We've seen the play-action seam pass for a touchdown twice. I mean, New Canaan just going back to the well.
And the extra point coming up. Swindell for the point after. Snap is good. Spot, kick, end over end. Got the distance and lands in North Salem, New York. 4:57 to go in the third quarter. It's all New Canaan. They lead Ridgefield 44-7. We take a timeout. Chris and I come back. It's 45-7 after the extra point on the HAN network.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique plus talent beats talent alone.
Back in Tiger Hollow, Stephen Lancaster Field. With Chris Erway, I'm Rob Adams. Got a nice note from a friend of ours that I noticed during the break.
A man located in Danbury, is it?
I believe he is still located in lovely Danbury, Connecticut. If he wants to join us after the game for a little post-game.
He's more than welcome.
He is absolutely welcome. This goes back into the end zone. They will let him run it out. That looked like he went a yard deep, but he is running that out to the 35-yard line. That is Provy. Did I miss that?
His foot was definitely inside the goal line.
A good yard into the end zone. Wow. But there's a flag on the play, Chris. Hold on a minute.
Huh.
In fact, there are two flags.
No, throw the rest of the flags out there.
I got a paper towel.
You don't have any?
No, I don't have a flag.
All right.
4:49 to go third quarter, 45-7. And they're calling it against New Canaan. Again, as a reminder, if there's anything technically when you're watching the game, be it the screen freezes, Chris starts talking gibberish.
Right.
I say something smart, refresh, and all will be well again. But that is the truth, and that's been kind of a hallmark back to the early days because there would be times you'd have a couple of browsers open inadvertently, and you'd start hearing multiple versions, which you really don't want. So just refresh things, and everything should be good to go. Here it's 45-7 with 4:49 to go. In the third quarter, Fowler to throw. Fowler brings it near side. Fowler over the shoulder and incomplete.
Broken up by number 21.
Michael Cognetta, the defender on C.J. Varian.
Really nice job there by Michael Cognetta. Draped all over Varian. Almost came down with an interception.
Heavily penalized game. I believe I'm up to 14 now.
Wow. Sloppy game.
7 each. 45-7, 4:43 to go third quarter. Now a whistle and a false start for penalty number 15.
I'll be honest. If you told me on opening night there would be 15 penalties and the score would be 45-7, I would have said you're crazy.
And I'll finish the thought because I don't want it to be, any hidden jokes or anything like that. But our buddy Ryan DiMaria, who wants no credit for it, by the way. I should have made up a name, but he sent a nice text along. I do greatly appreciate it. 4:43 to go third quarter. Just said he's enjoying the broadcast. Flipped into the flat. It's complete. On the near side, outside the numbers, turning it upfield. It's Varian again as he's put on the turf by Ryan O'Connell.
And good field position for the Tigers. Now 3rd and long. They need to be able to take advantage right here and put another score on the board.
Dante Cobelli comes in as a slot receiver on the near side. Now he'll shift to the far side. Very impressive young man that we chatted with before the game. And I really was serious. I said, you got a future in this business. Just absolutely a delightful young man to talk to. Shotgun snap coming. Blitzing are the Rams. Fowler had it knocked down and almost intercepted at the 47. Thomas, I believe that was Thomas Williams, number 25, on the near interception. Those numbers can be a little twisted to see at times.
So now 4th and 10, an obvious situation where Ridgefield's going to go for it here. At least I think.
And obviously send on the kicking team.
All right. I shouldn't play the lotto then this week.
Colin Lowe on to punt it away.
Interesting. Very interesting call right here.
And a 45-7 game, 38-point game, yeah. Lowe to punt. Sends it away. Coffin cornering it. And it'll bounce out of bounds. Speaking of coffin corner, makes me think of horror. You're a horror guy.
I am.
And a good friend of ours has obviously put out the novellas that she's written.
Right.
They will be coming out in book form later on.
How about that?
Cool?
That is awesome.
Our friend Susan Schultz at the Darien Times. I tell you this, I am not a horror fan. I am not. I've watched, I watched The Shining and some of the other, some of the other big names in horror. She hates just The Shining, by the way, as a movie. But I say this sincerely because I wouldn't promote it so much if it wasn't so good.
Right.
And it's really excellent writing. The stories are just so terrific. So
that is amazing.
And her work is all available online on Amazon, but the book itself, and she promised me an autographed copy a long time ago. That is coming out. 45-7 here. Back to the ground. Breaking tackles that look like Cognetta. You'll say which one. I'll say Michael, but I need proof that it was 21 on the carry.
Comes in for the big hit.
And I want to say in at quarterback now for New Canaan is Spencer Williams, number 16. I can't tell for sure, but it looked like he faked with his left hand a throw. So I can't tell if that's Collins, 15, or Spencer Williams, 16. I'm going to try to get a better look.
Yep, that's where the numbers will screw you up a little bit. It's a left-hander, so that's all you need to know. Yep. That should be a new quarterback, and it is.
Yeah, and that's what I saw in the first play where he kind of gave that ball off and then faked the throw. That's Spencer Williams, a junior, 6 feet, 175-pound quarterback. So Lou Marinelli has made the decision that Michael Collins' night is done. Really solid performance for him. And Spencer Williams takes over.
3rd down for the Rams. 3rd and 7. Big down for the Tigers.
I don't know what the school record is, but I'm a little curious. Shotgun snap on 3rd down. Play fake, and the lefty throws incomplete, looking for, I believe, Swindell on the near side, or maybe that is not 13. No, that is 17, Brian McCullough. So they will punt it away with 3:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. I don't know what the school record is for touchdown passes in a game, but Collins has 6.
6, huh? I somehow feel like that's not the record.
I wouldn't be surprised either with all the things that all the great teams that Lou has had here over the years.
But 6 is a lot. That's a solid night. While the completion percentage wasn't unreal, the touchdown to interception ratio, fantastic.
Ready to punt it away are the Rams. By the way, speaking of shout-outs and fame and fortune and such things as the ball gets moved back, I want to give a shout out to somebody that I finally got to meet today. Now, I've interviewed him a couple of times here on the HAN network, but I've never actually met him. We'll wait on the punt, 7 yards deep. Swindell gets into it, high spiraling kick. It'll bounce away from Provy, who has had all kinds of trouble tonight. He goes back to the 35, and he'll be rustled down at the 40-yard line. In fact, I didn't expect Josh Fisher to stick around as long as he did today. He said he had family in, and Aunt had come into town. But coming into the stadium, and I've never met him, is not only his wonderful mother, but his father, Ira Joe Fisher, who's been a broadcaster around New York for so many years, also worked in other parts of the country, Cincinnati and elsewhere. But it was a great thrill to meet Ira Joe Fisher, who I've talked to before. He's the nicest man in the world, but to meet him face-to-face was fun.
It's amazing to think about that, right? You know, how many times have you interviewed someone but never really put a face to a name, and then to finally do that, it's an amazing experience.
And, of course, he was on TV hundreds of times covering one story after another, and just always a really nice presence on TV. Handoff goes up the middle to the 45 with Patrick Lang. So it was nice to stand and chat with him for a few minutes. 2:40 to go, third quarter, 45-7. New Canaan on top of Ridgefield. Receivers to each side on 2nd and 5. They'll go right back to the ground, and you're basically giving up the ghost. Patrick Lang thrown down for a loss of 2. And you just wonder, Chris, when do we reach the point where maybe we see even running clock, possibly in the fourth quarter?
Oh, we could definitely see. I mean, we've seen scores less than this with a running clock in the fourth quarter, and I think from what you've seen from the New Canaan offense, you might get the running clock.
Shotgun set on 3rd and 6. Fowler, deep ball left side, a beautiful spiral, but it goes out of bounds and incomplete. Intended on the far sideline for Colin Lowe. It'll bring up 4th down.
Fowler's pass falls incomplete. Intended for Colin Lowe.
Trying to go back to the well once again with Colin Lowe, who has the lone touchdown reception for Ridgefield tonight. And now they've got the offense out, and they're going for it, but they didn't go for it when they had the ball on the 45-yard line of New Canaan, and now it's on the 44-yard line of Ridgefield.
And some of it's a learning process. You do have a first-year head coach in Joe Arcieri, and I just a nice man. I like the direction he's got this team going in. Throw is incomplete to the left side on that far side. He was intended for Matt Lombardo. And New Canaan will take over on downs. 1:45 to go in the third quarter. Some in the crowd have decided to call it a night. Many are still enjoying the atmosphere. Some of the kids in their uniforms all down in front of us in the uniform jerseys. And still plenty of pickup football and other things going on down on the second field to our right.
We even got a young fan in a Leo Messi jersey.
I noticed that. And he wears his sunglasses at night.
He does. Who does he think he is, Corey Hart?
I don't know. I knew you got that reference.
Of course.
Yes, you were well-versed in music. First down at the Ridgefield 44-yard line. From right to left go the Rams in the lighter jerseys, dropping back, setting up. The left-hander has a millennium of time to throw right and incomplete. Spencer Williams stood back there, grabbed a ham sandwich, put mustard on it, then he threw the ball.
And they were trying to set up a screen there to one of the running backs. Nothing happening, but it almost seemed like Ridgefield thought the play was dead. You know, the pass rushers just weren't even running at him. It was very interesting.
I sensed that as well. 2nd and 10 at the 44. 1:29 to go, third quarter, 45-7. New Canaan shotgun snap to the ground. And spinning around and trying to move forward. That looked like 32 on the carry, but let's see if that is the case. That's Graham Braden, a junior. And again, we talked in the first half about numbers that I associate with certain positions. I think of 32 as a classic running back.
Yep.
Before he became notorious for another thing, Orenthal James Simpson, you knew him as OJ, was running through airports and wearing number 32 for the Buffalo Bills, as well as for Southern Cal. And a false start will cost the Rams 5. Down to 54 to go in the third quarter. Franco Harris, I always think of course.
back to third down, 3rd and 12 for the Rams.
I know you think of 22.
Always think of 22. Always think of 48 for fullback.
I'm sure you do for the Moose.
The Moose.
Back to throw. Right side deep ball, almost adjusting and making a wonderful catch. It looked like Adam Ruth, number 10, down the far sideline. Will Carpenter was there on defense, but nice ball thrown by Spencer Williams.
Yeah, really nice ball. And Ruth almost had a one-handed catch. Got a little pop at the end there from the safety for Ridgefield, but almost a really beautiful one-handed catch.
45-7, and 4th down coming up with 39 to go in the 3rd quarter.
You surprised Lou Marinelli's throwing the football, even with his backup quarterback in the game? Or do you think he wants him to get that throwing experience?
I think it's a bad experience, and you're not at 50 yet.
Right.
Next score puts you at 52-7, and still it would only be a 45-point game. So there's still some play here. I think they just accept that they're working on things.
Right.
Here's the snap, and a block as it bounces around. It's picked up by the Rams, but it's Dante Cobelli came in and blocked the punt and gives this crowd a little something to be happy about.
Dante Cobelli, who we interviewed in game day. What a great kid, not giving up, tremendous amount of heart, comes in and blocks the kick. The line for New Canaan there a little bit lackadaisical, kind of ignored Cobelli on the outside. Really good job with the block there. And now the Tigers are in business again. They've had good field position in the second half here. Let's see if they can convert.
First down for the Tigers at the Ram 49-yard line. New Canaan will go from left to right. Low snap. Fowler picks it up. It's a jailbreak, and he's down at the 43.
Pressure finds Fowler being pulled down.
Taken down by Jack Rechterman.
Number 14, Jack Rechterman.
A junior linebacker on what might be the last play of the 3rd quarter. We will find out in a moment.
That'll bring up a 2nd down for the Tigers.
And it looks like Ridgefield is content to run out the clock here.
And you could understand why.
Absolutely.
And the 3rd quarter is in the books. Let's start 4th quarter right after this. After 3, New Canaan 45, Ridgefield 7. Come on back for quarter number 4 right after this on the HAN Network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Does buying a car leave you feeling like you're chasing your tail? Head straight to Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram and take car buying in a whole new direction.
Start of the 4th quarter at Ridgefield's Tiger Hollow Stadium, Lancaster Field. I'm Rob Adams alongside Chris Erway, our entire crew, Eric Gendron and AJ Szymanowski directing. Marty Hersam, Tracy Iazi was still here, I think the last I saw. Kate Chaplinsky, Josh Fisher, along with Tim Murphy, sports editor of the Ridgefield Press and the Wilton Bulletin. Dave Stewart's here as well. Pass complete, left side, Longo outside the numbers to the 40. I know JP's on one camera, JB was on another camera. I believe Grant is still on a camera. Big crew here tonight.
And it looks like the clock is running. So I think we might have the 4th quarter running clock here.
2nd and short at the 40. Rolling right Fowler, throws right, finds a man, far side Longo, knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Clock did stop as Longo went out of bounds.
Now with the running clock rule, even if someone goes out of bounds, does it still continue to go? Or?
It can continue to go. It can be all on the man in the striped shirts.
So now it's going again.
Yep.
Okay.
Once they reset, off they go. 11:19 to go. 4th quarter, 45-7. Tigers looked like they kept waiting on the snap count. Pitch coming left side, Lang. And Patrick Lang gets the 31-yard line.
Tackle by number 33 for the Rams. David Noonan.
David Noonan, senior defensive back, made the stop.
Brings up a 2nd down for the Tigers.
Under 11 to go, 4th quarter, near side hash, Fowler, quick pass, looked like it was batted, but complete. trying to break a tackle is Colin Lowe. He gets to the 19 with a flag down at the end of the play. That's pretty apropos what the PA man just said. There are flags all over because we will count again. This is against New Canaan for a face mask. "17 penalties accepted on the evening."
Unreal amount of penalties.
That is an obscene amount of penalties. So while it was T-shirt night here at Tiger Hollow, it was also flag night. 10:35 to go. Shotgun snap for Fowler. Lang just pushes across the 10 now, down near the 8. Gregory Catalano, junior linebacker, made the stop.
Wouldn't it be nice to see Fowler go to Longo here and get him a touchdown?
Would be.
For as much as he's done for this team tonight.
2nd and goal at the 9, rolling Fowler. He's looking for him. He's throwing for him, and he can't get him. Little long. 3rd and goal.
It'll bring up a 3rd down. 3rd and 9 for the Tigers.
If you got here early enough and you wanted such things, we did hand out T-shirts. HAN Network T-shirts that say "I'm with the network" on the back in gray. Well, they're gray T-shirts, I should say, but pretty nice.
Now, what kind of tone should that be? Should it be like "I'm with the network" or "I'm with the network"?
Ooh. You bring up a good point for me to ponder. Fowler has the ball knocked down. It'll be 4th down.
Fowler pass gets blocked.
Huh. You've really given me a question to ponder here.
94 and 44.
And maybe that's a question for
Peter
Marty Hersam
O'Sullivan in on the bat down.
But that's something I want to know.
What is the tone of "I'm with the network"? It's a great question. It is a question to ponder. Is it "I'm with the network" or "I'm with the network"? I'm with the network. I'm with the network.
I kind of like that one.
Papadopoulos, in the meantime, on for what appears to be a 26-yard field goal. He puts it up, it spins around, and it is good.
And the field goal is good for Papadopoulos in the Ridgefield.
Papadopoulos from 26 makes it 45-10. It comes with 10:04 to go. We're back after this on the HAN Network. (45-10) with 10:04 to go in the 4th quarter as we're with the network.
Is that what we've decided? The network. We're with the network.
We're with the network.
All right, there it is.
I don't know.
I don't think we can go wrong with any of them.
Of course, we could work in a little punctuation because based on the look that Tim Murphy just gave me, it kind of says, "I'm with the network?"
Question mark?
Question mark. They're all worth considering.
Yeah. We'll have to you guys have to figure that out in your next staff meeting. Monday morning.
You're just leaving it right there on the tee for me, and I'm letting it go. Here's the kickoff.
Here come the Tigers.
And the kick taken at the 5. Running up the middle of the field. Uh-oh, here's an opening. Spinning left, and a good open field tackle at the 35-yard line.
Touchdown saving tackle by number 26.
Jack Rechterman on the return. Charlie Bonaparte with the open field takedown.
Jackson Alpelt returned that for the New Canaan Rams.
So now the Rams will come out. We've seen the quarterback Spencer Williams throw the ball a couple times. Not much luck so far. Be interested to see if Lou Marinelli decides to just kind of run this clock out, run the football, or if he gives Spencer Williams a chance to throw the football, get a little game experience.
9:56 to go, 4th quarter, 45-10. New Canaan on top. New Canaan will head to 1-0 on the year. For Ridgefield, they'll drop to 0-1. You can say that's 2-10 in their last 12. I don't see it that way if you're dating it back to last year. It's a new year. Tigers will rush 5. Long snap count, and he takes it. Play action, throws over the middle and incomplete. Williams intended for Holzer.
And they were looking for that same, fake zone read play, little kind of a slant seam route to Jack Holzer, which he scored a touchdown on. And New Canaan not taking their foot off the gas as much as I thought they would at this point.
2nd and 10. At the 31. Shift things up. The protector in the backfield is Catalano. This is an indication you're looking to run clock right here when you're waiting that long for the snap count. Pass is complete in the flat to Catalano, but he can't get around the man on the far side. That looks like Patrick Lang, 5 out there.
And you can see, number 70 for the New Canaan Rams, Patrick Song, is actually looking back at the referee to see how much time is actually left. I think he actually might be looking back at the play clock to see how much time is left on the play clock. And then when he turns around and gets set, then Spencer Williams snaps the football.
3rd and 13. Back near the 32, I beg your pardon. Man goes in motion. That man will take it. He turns it upfield, and he stretches across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Jackson Appelt on the carry for a short gain, and Leo Grazaffi made the stop. 8:40, clock continues to run. 45-10, New Canaan.
Lombardo and Provy back to receive this punt. And if I'm New Canaan, I'm punting this towards Provy, who's had a couple of bobbles on punts and kickoffs so far in this game.
The Rams are back to punt.
That, by the way, is not Swindell. And it's a short punt. I believe that was Grant Morse. It bounces away and takes a really favorable roll. My goodness. This will roll all the way to the 12-yard line.
All the way down to the 11-yard line.
Have to do some simple math right now.
52 yards.
Not bad for a kick that went off the side of his foot.
No, not bad at all. I mentioned Stephen Lancaster a little earlier. 3-sport star, died of leukemia in the early 1970s. They named the original field that was here after him in 1973 when the whole facility was remodeled and the fabulous building with the concessions and all back behind us was opened in the early 2000s. Tiger Hollow came into play, but it remains Lancaster Field. Papadopoulos on the carry. And a short gain, in fact, no gain, 2nd and 10 at the New Canaan 12.
Tigers, 2nd and 10.
Tigers go from right to left, trailing by 35. Pass complete in the flat, trying to break a tackle around the right side. That looked like Colin Lowe. And it'll bring up a 3rd down.
As the clock continues to run here, we're going to be under 7 minutes shortly in a 45-10 game. New Canaan over Ridgefield. But I really have to applaud Ridgefield in the second half. Now, they could have came out flat and just kind of given up on this game, but they've really shown some heart and some toughness.
Fowler takes it. A little pitch comes near side. Papadopoulos finds an opening, runs it back to his right across the 30 to the 31. I said 31, I meant 21, excuse me.
You're entitled to one mistake per broadcast. So.
Yeah, well, thanks. I appreciate your kindness. 6:35 to go here. 4th quarter, 45-10. I'm waiting on the punt.
Punting is Colin Lowe for the Tigers.
Colin Lowe waiting. Gets it away. Spinning around. Lowe has been busy tonight. It'll bounce away from Graham Braden. Take a nice spin and roll to the 32-yard line.
Rob, I don't know if you see this on the sideline, the Ridgefield sideline, but I believe that's C.J. Varian over here to the right, camera right, who has a pack of ice on his arm and is actually out of his pads and sitting in the golf cart over
Yeah.
here. So it looks like his night is done. Really can't speculate on the injury to the arm, but his night is done, and he played a big role in this offense tonight.
Waiting on the shotgun snap. On first down, the handoff, bouncing it to the near side. That's Braden. Braden taken down at the 23. He'll lose a couple of yards. 5:42 to go, clock running 45-10. Post-game show coming up in 5:33. We will wrangle a guest. I think we can find somebody.
I'm sure we can. There's a multitude of players we could probably grab.
There might even be a plethora.
Plethora.
There's
I like
a plethora.
That.
Thank you. 2nd and 14. Taking a long look back at the clock with 5. Counts down to 3. There's the shotgun snap and the handoff. And running clock, they'll get near the 25-yard line with the handoff going to Gregory Catalano. Cabelli on the stop with 4:55 to go in a 45-10 ball game. 6 touchdown passes for Michael Collins tonight.
That might be a good guest.
That could be a good guest. I've talked to him before. He's a good guest. He's a good person to interview.
He's a good quarterback.
He's a very good quarterback. Many in the New Canaan crowd now are starting to make their way out. Again, looking to throw. Left side bobbled with a flag down at the 29.
Man, are we going to get to 20 penalties?
We're almost there.
What have we got, 2 left?
I think we're at 18 now, and that's accepted penalties. Remember, there were a couple of offsetting.
Right.
So that would push us over 20.
We are at 20,
oh, yeah.
for sure, because we had 2 of those.
And that will be declined. So, again, there have only been a couple of decline penalties. We're over 20.
Rob, you know what would go great right now with this, this weather?
I would love to know.
A nice HN Network fleece or zip-up. That'd be
quite agree.
Wouldn't that be awesome right now?
I quite agree.
Because it's just a tad chilly now as the temperature has dropped significantly. And I could use a nice little pullover.
I like the sound of that. 4:28 to go. Here is the punt, and flag number 1,000,000 just flew. And it's out of bounds at the 41.
There's a flag on the play.
False start against the Tigers. So we are now officially, I believe, at 18 accepted penalties. Jessica Murrin and her husband Ian, who Jessica handles the marketing for the HAN network, was here earlier. I don't know if she is still here, but Jess and Ian made the trip down. They are up in the Vermont office, which I'm still angling to do a game in Vermont. I know you would make the trip.
Oh, depending on when it was, I'm sure I would.
Get the lovely Jenna and the beautiful daughter.
Make it a weekend.
Make it a weekend.
Why not? Could do that.
See if I could get the legendary Sean Adams to come up, who went to Vermont with us on our big trip back in early August.
He is a true legend.
He really is. At the 40, ball down, and a new quarterback stumbles and falls right on top of it. A tough start for number 3, Gregory Gatto, the sophomore, 6'3", 175. We had such a good time on that trip, though. The Will Burton Inn was just a fabulous place for us to hang out for a couple of days. We felt spoiled there.
So was the Will Burton Inn like a bed and breakfast type place, or was it like a house that had a lot of rooms?
Oh, wow. It's kind of tough to describe, but I'll try on 2nd and 14, using the shoulder fake over the middle and over the ladder, and the catch. For Tom Formas, sophomore receiver, makes the catch at the 27.
A really nice throw there by Gregory Gatto, as it sounds like the parents of Formas are in the crowd. We saw a little burst of energy here
little
from the
burst.
Tiger crowd.
And flags down. Here is accepted penalty 19, offside.
Man, is that 19? I thought that was 20.
Looks like it's offside. New Canaan.
It's got to be 20.
19.
Oh,
so close.
Man. One more. You know what? False start right now.
Got 325.
It's going to happen.
Got a flag, you throw a flag.
It's going to happen.
1st and 5 in a 45-10 ball game. Rolling right, Gatto throws right. It is complete and out of bounds at the 14. That's a first down for the Tigers with 3:13 to go. I think, the Wilburton Inn, it's almost like you've gone to an estate. Rolling left, Gatto. He's going to throw incomplete. Boy, he had a man wide open. Looks like Lombardo at the 10.
That was going to be a touchdown.
You've got, a main house mansion that has hotel rooms in it, and then individual houses spread out on the grounds, another 4 or 5 houses, and we stayed in one that was just wonderful. 6 bedrooms. And
very cool.
It was real. It was
how
a
did
super
you guys
cool
find
place.
this?
Full credit to Marty Hersam. I don't know.
Very cool. I like it.
I know Sean Adams thought it was about the best place he had ever stayed in. 2nd and 10. Gatto over the middle. Got a man. Lombardo touchdown.
Really nice couple throws there by Gatto coming in, getting this Ridgefield offense going, and the crowd erupts, I guess you could say. I mean, they're pretty loud right now.
They needed something to cheer about, and they got it. We've seen the points, that's for sure. 45-16 pending the extra point. Papadopoulos on for the extra point. Snap is good. Spot, kick, end over end. Low, but good. 2:55 to go in the fourth quarter. And Ridgefield closes the deficit to 45-17. We have 2:55 to go in the fourth quarter. Chris and I come back after this on the HAN Network.
The fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait in the Long Island Sound. This is the time to visit the New England coast, and the Dock Shop can get you outfitted with the latest fishing gear, jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece. Boater, beach bum, fishermen simply love the New England coast. This is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Getting our funk on here in Ridgefield. 45-17 our score with Chris Erway. I'm Rob Adams.
I think AJ thought that was Thriller to start. He was doing the Thriller dance.
Really?
But he was incorrect.
But it's Rick James.
It's Rick James.
It's Rick James. And I can't finish that sentence.
No, you can't. You can't. If anyone's seen Chappelle's show, you know why.
Nope. 45-17, 2:55 to go. Here's the kickoff. As it comes down at the 13. Looking to find an opening to the left side and out near the 25-yard line. That was McCullough on the return. 2:49 remaining. I would like to have the energy, by the way, and I mean this sincerely, of the public address announcer who's still
going.
I mean,
he must be on at least 4 Red Bulls. Has to be, right?
I've never touched any of that stuff, and there actually is a reason behind that.
Really?
My first night in radio, and I'm very blessed to say I've been in this business now 25 years. My first night, I was advised because I was an overnight DJ, so I loaded up on the caffeine, and I took some no-dos of all things.
Oh, God.
And I've never touched any of those energy drinks ever since that night. 2.5 to go, fourth quarter, 45-17. To the ground, looking to work it left side. From what I could tell with the massive humanity, that was Braden to the 27.
1 first down for New Canaan here. They'll be able to run out this clock. They'll be able to get pretty close. But 1 first down will all but wrap it up for New Canaan.
Yep.
And they won't be able to give the ball back to Ridgefield. But, no-dos. Wow.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Never again. I've done the sugar-free Red Bulls from time to time, but really only in extreme circumstances.
2nd and 7 at the 29. Long wait. Game clock down, or rather play clock, down to 5. And to the ground they go. This is coming to the near side. Trying to find a corner is Braden. And he'll take a seat at the 32.
Takes down the New Canaan Ram.
1:30 to go, fourth quarter, 45-17. And it'll bring up 3rd and 5, let's call it. A long 5. Thanks to everybody here at Ridgefield. We took up residence here 12 and a half hours ago.
Unbelievable.
AJ Szymanowski, Tracy Iazi, and myself were on site a little after 9 o'clock this morning. Not complaining, just pointing it out. Right back to the ground. Braden to the 35 with 49 to go.
Now, do you have a day off tomorrow?
I do.
What are you going to do with your day off? Sleep?
No rest for the weary. Tomorrow actually is my sister's birthday, so
Okay.
happy birthday to Laura. I'm going to make the trip out to Fairfield and have dinner with her.
Nice.
But you know who else has a birthday this weekend?
Who's that?
One Yankee fisherman, John Kovach, who reminds you to visit the Dock Shop.
Yes.
Boater, beach bum, fisherman, birthday boy, or simply love the New England coast. It's a unique place to shop. Down to 8 to go. 4th down. There's such a minimal difference between the game clock and the play clock, and the handoff goes off the near side, and that one ends the ball game. Catalano on the carry, and they'll go and shake hands. It's in the books, 45-17.
Really solid opening performance for New Canaan. I think that's what a lot of people thought we would see in this game. Not as big of a blowout as we saw tonight. I think a lot of people thought Ridgefield would keep it close, at least in the first half. It wasn't the case. Michael Collins played great, 6 touchdowns. He's got a ton of weapons. And for Ridgefield, it's a rebuilding process. It's a growing process. They've got a young quarterback, but they've got some receivers. And Varian, we hope he's okay, not sure on the injury.
Right.
And then, of course, Chris Longo had a really good game.
Down to the field we go, and we'll come back and put a wrap on it. We'll get an interview, and we'll send you on your way. The final score from Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow and Ridgefield. New Canaan 45 and Ridgefield 17. We'll start the postgame show right after this on the HAN Network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark Building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique...
School means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Remind you of the last time you went into a car dealership? Experience stress-free waters at Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram and find out how easy buying a car really is.
Have no fear. Hersam Acorn's Fast Frights movie contest is here. Can your film make the cut? Submit your original 3-minute horror movie today. Visit fastfrights.com for more details.
Back here at Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow. Chris Erway with you on the HAN Network. My colleague Rob Adams has gone down to the field to get a couple of guest interviews. The final score here, New Canaan 45, Ridgefield 17. A very dominant performance by the Rams, coached by Lou Marinelli. Michael Collins, 6 touchdown passes, a couple of touchdown receptions each for Peter Swindell and Andrew DeFranco. So overall, a really solid performance by the Rams as they move to 1-0 on the season. And for the Tigers, in their past 12 games, now 2-10. Rob mentioned it before. He doesn't look at it that way where, they've now have 10 losses in their past 12 games. When you look at it, they've got an interim head coach. They've got a young quarterback. They've got some young receivers and running backs and an undersized offensive line. It could be a tough year for Ridgefield. So as Rob continues to search for a guest, we'll break down this game a bit more. It's interesting to see C.J. Varian for the Ridgefield Tigers leave the game at the end of the game with an arm injury. So we'll have to see how badly his injury is. Right now, we'll go down to Rob Adams as he brings in our guest for the night.
All right, we'll take it down here on the field. Michael Collins with a good night tonight. 6 touchdown passes, 45-17 as the scoreboard tells the story. And, Michael, what went right tonight?
A lot of things are going right for us offensively. We're just clicking. Offensive line is doing a great job. Receivers are really catching the ball really well. And our coaches put us in great position the whole game. And our defense was outstanding. 0 points until, I think, the mid-third quarter. So.
How about the development of Peter Swindell? I knew him as a kicker, and I knew him as a great kicker. I didn't know he was this good of a receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he's a tremendous receiver. Freshman year, he was really great for us. And, as a kicker, he was so valuable to us as a sophomore and junior, so he wasn't really used. But this year coming back, he's done a fantastic job so far, and looking forward to continuing with him.
And you guys took advantage of every mistake and just seemed like you were making your plays. Is there anything negative you take out of the game?
I think there was a few times where I made a few errant passes, a little high. The one time I got sacked, I should have just dumped the ball off. That was my fault. Nothing on the line. Line did a great job all night. Receivers are doing great, making great catches, no drops or anything. So I think I just got to fix up my game a little bit.
You guys seem like you're firing otherwise on all cylinders, ready to go for next week, I'm sure.
Yeah, can't wait. Homecoming.
All right. We'll look forward to that as well. Thanks for a couple minutes. Enjoy the bus trip home. Michael Collins with us here. 45-17 our final score. New Canaan with the win over Ridgefield. I'll come back up and visit with Chris as we get ready to take a timeout. But, Chris, I'll send it back up to you.
Thanks, Rob. That was Michael Collins, our special guest. What a performance tonight. I mean, touch passes, long throws, 15-yard deep outs. He was able to complete every single pass that had every bit of accuracy on it. So a really great performance by Michael Collins tonight. With that being said, while Rob comes up back up to the booth, we're going to take a break. Final score, New Canaan 45, Ridgefield 17. And you're listening to opening night of FCIAC football on the HAN Network.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2 and more are in stock and ready to go at the Dock Shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The Dock Shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Well, the strains of Phil Collins begin to play here, and, well, it was the New Canaan Rams who could feel it in the air tonight.
They really could. Through the air, not so much through the ground. Matthew Cognetta, really, stifled by this Ridgefield defense. But you know what? With Michael Collins at the helm, you really don't need to run the football, especially with this high-octane, quick-pace offense for New Canaan.
No, they were hitting really on all cylinders, as we said to Michael Collins on the field, 6 touchdown passes. And really, you never want to say a game is over the first time a team scores, but 8 minutes to play first quarter and the 35-yard touchdown pass from Collins to Swindell, you felt like something was going on right there.
I really think, and I said it during the broadcast, that New Canaan could smell blood. They really could. They're that type of team. They're that aggressive. Even on opening night, they go for the throat at every single point, which is a sign of a team that wins championships, and that's what they do.
And New Canaan did it. I know that you can complain about New Canaan throwing the ball. I don't really have a big problem with it. I think for the most part they win with class. I mean, Lou Marinelli is the guy who is at the forefront of believing in what has really been known as the Jack Cochran rule, the 50-point rule.
Right.
I don't see Lou Marinelli running up the score. You're just working on some things.
No, I don't either. And it's not like the passes that they were throwing were deep passes. They were, 5, 7, 10-yard routes at the most. And if you break a tackle, you break a tackle. That's on the Ridgefield defense to bring down the offensive player.
Swindell with a 45-yard field goal, 10-0 after 1, 31-0 at halftime as Smith, Swindell, and DeFranco catch touchdown passes. Third quarter, more of the same. DeFranco with another touchdown. Then Colin Lowe got Ridgefield on the board with a 19-yard touchdown pass from Fowler. And finally, Ridgefield had a chance to smile at 38-7. Jack Holzer, though, quickly answered 51-yard touchdown catch from Collins. Collins' night was over at 45-7. Papadopoulos, a 26-yard field goal, and Lombardo, a 10-yard touchdown catch from Gatto, who came on to relieve. 45-17 final score, and a final thought.
Final thought has to be the immediate rebuild of New Canaan. I mean,
next man up all the time.
It's that next man in mentality. They run an offense that you could substitute so many people in. They don't get tired, and they wear defenses out, and that's how they're able to sustain greatness year after year.
Just an outstanding job by this football team. Now, some bookkeeping for you. We get right back to it. We'll take the weekend off, but of course, come out to HAN.network. You'll see all kinds of programming running, perhaps this very ball game all over again. We're back with you on Monday for coffee break, and then we carry right on into the usual cast of stuff with Nutmeg Sports later in the day on Monday. Then we'll get back to it with some sports on Tuesday, in fact, as Darien and New Canaan play in field hockey, 4 o'clock. Then on Thursday, it's Wilton and Fairfield Ludlow in boys soccer at 6 o'clock. And then Saturday, you and I are right back together, Darien and Greenwich at Cardinal Stadium at 4. But before that, we've got the tailgate show and FCIAC game day.
And I believe Darien and Greenwich both scored in the 40s today in their games. So we could see a shootout, and that's not something we've really seen between those two teams much in the past. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Big test for Greenwich next week.
Absolutely. John Marinelli and that new fast-paced offense, something very similar to what you see for New Canaan, obviously, will be tested by the Darien defense next week.
All right. See you then.
Absolutely.
Or maybe I'll see you right after we turn off the cameras and we'll go get some dinner.
That is also a possibility. Strong possibility.
Sounds like an excellent plan. My thanks and our thanks to everybody here on the crew. Couldn't possibly begin to name them all, but great job by everybody here at Tiger Hollow. Again, we have been here so many hours, but we're so grateful to Carl Charles, the athletic director, and the whole crew here. But with all that said, that'll do it for night number 1 of FCIAC football right here on the HAN Network. Final score, the New Canaan Rams 45 and the Ridgefield Tigers 17. The Rams are 1-0, and the Tigers dropped to 0-1 on the season. As I said, we're back with you Monday morning at 11 o'clock for coffee break, and then our next sports broadcast is Tuesday at 4 as Darien plays New Canaan at Dunning Field in field hockey, and football next Saturday, Darien and Greenwich. For the entire crew here at Lancaster Field, at Tiger Hollow in Ridgefield, Director Eric Gendron, Associate Director A.J. Szymanowski, and for Chris Erway, I'm Rob Adams. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Ridgefield gets the loss to New Canaan, 45-17 from Tiger Hollow in Ridgefield. Good night, everyone.
The preceding has been a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.